Brunch on Sunday night. Special chicken and waffles for dinner. Hell
Yo,
yeah.
yeah, this is one of
Yeah.
those breakfast for dinner type joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't act like you never had you a little bacon and scrambled eggs with cheese at midnight.
It's the best one.
Set it off, a little toasted bread, slap it all, make a sandwich out of it, slap it all together. What up, everybody? This is Hip Hop Talks. You're obviously seeing us on Sunday night, so that means something special is going on. Something special has occurred. Sean A.G., Kendrick Lamar, snuck through the back door again. Pause.
Yeah,
That was wild.
Starting early.
You want to know what? Can we hit the reset button? Start over. I just like to apologize because I don't want to activate Sean on any sort of level.
No, please don't
on
be
any
started.
sort of level, I don't want to activate Sean.
It's
But no,
Sunday.
no. Let's pay some.
This is the Lord's Day.
It's the day He hath made. Let's pay some dues right quick. Make sure you click like, share, and subscribe to the page. Our growth, gentlemen, over the last 2 weeks has been so much, and it's such that YouTube and StreamYard actually shut us down to check to see if the followers we had just acquired were real. It's very real.
Yeah.
We're actually almost hitting that 100% clip. Almost every person who likes us and follows us watches us. So you should roll with the winners. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. I know people want to hear my takes on a couple things, but I'd actually like to start off with a couple personal things, if I may.
Yeah.
Get off probation tomorrow. Now, I was arrested for something that I definitely didn't do. And I still claim that to this day. You can Google what happened. I don't mind people knowing. But if people really want to know, my departure from the Forum podcast actually had to do with them knowing about my personal situation and then choosing to do shows without me knowing what I was personally going through. When I came to you, gentlemen, and shared the same things with you, first thing you all said to me is like, well, let's just work around all that shit. Let's go get it. And that's what a team should do. So I actually really want to thank you guys for holding me down this year. Because all I was really looking for was a real team to hold me down. And you guys are it. You guys have done it. And now literally the shackles will be off of me tomorrow morning, effective pretty much 8 a.m. when the courthouse opens. And I just wanted to share that with everybody and thank you guys for really holding me down, really being a positive influence, making me laugh and enjoy hip hop again. And it's really been a blessing that this has all come together. Inviting Andrew to the party. That is the number one thing that I'm thankful for, because I had been telling other people for years, that's my guy and we need to use him because he's talented and he's gifted. And I think you all are seeing that. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Taj. She's the one that actually called all this from the jump. She's like, something ain't right. You need to find out what it is. And happy to be here because now we're at this moment and it's Sunday night. And I'm pretty certain that most of the people in this space are tuned in to hear what the three of us have to say. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys. Say salute. Sean, kick it over to you. Can't hear Sean. Sean, unmute. Unmute, my G.
My bad. Yo, that was touching, cool, but we don't care. We want to talk about this Kendrick stuff. I'm kidding.
No, that's the shit I expect you to say. It's okay. That's the shit I expect you to say.
Gotta stay on brand. I got to stay on brand. No, yo, for real. Thank you all for popping in. We see some new faces in the chat tonight, or some new voices in the chat tonight. So we appreciate that. Like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 blah. Let's get into the talk. AG.
It was good.
For us, man.
Got a surprise drop on Friday morning. You know what I'm saying? We was not expecting this. A lot of people were saying to cap off the year for what was already a stellar year and already a MVP pretty much sewn up in the books. Needed an album to go with it. And Kendrick delivered that in surprise fashion. He didn't need any rollout or any promo. That was already there, being the events that happened prior to this. So we got a surprise drop. I was at work, doing my 1-2 at work. And Sean hit me on the text like, yo, gentlemen, it's something that's dropped that we're going to have to talk about. And it was Kendrick's album. And, ended up right about an hour after that, going on my lunch break. The album was about 44, 45 minutes, which was perfect, short and sweet. Was able to digest the full album one run through on my lunch break from start to finish. And then later on that evening, I probably listened to it maybe about 3 or 4 more times throughout, running around that evening. So, yeah, it was exciting. Twitter was on fire and our group chat was on fire. It was a lot going on. And, a lot of times we want to rush to the scene to hurry up and be first at something, and have a knee-jerk reaction to something. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get our thoughts and opinions out there. But our schedules didn't align where we could do that. And here we are now on Sunday, a couple of days later. But that's fortunate because, we get time to really soak it in and then, give an in-depth analysis, with taking time to do our due diligence to listen to it. And we can have a better informed opinion on the things that took place over the past couple of days. You know what I mean? So it's not all about being the first. It's about, being the best at it. So we provide that here at Hip Hop Talks.
Yeah, that's how you start.
Just say, G, tired of these niggas showing up all early to do a show. Come to Hip Hop Talks.
Get my Suge Knight on. But yeah, it's exciting, man. Exciting moment.
3 super chats real quick, and then AG, I want you to tell us what you feel about the album.
For sure.
I got your super chats. $1.99. Queens get the money. Kenny gets a B. Solid showing after a battle. Mad Max. When Coop and I agree, it must be divine intervention.
That's facts.
Or it could be Lucifer. You never know. He's a op. He be listening, taking pictures.
For Mad Max.
Devil is a op. Devil's the biggest op. Got legions of ops. 88 Spencer with the $10 holla. Hitting the movie with the wife. Have a dope show. I mean, it's on YouTube, so you can always, spin the block. Have fun with the misses. Yeah. Tracy G, what up? $5. Cap, this album was hot garbage. And has confirmed my ears are no longer made for Kenny, but that Freddie Gibbs fire. Ooh. I agree with that Freddie Gibbs fire.
Ooh,
real quick, not to cut it short. Is Freddie Gibbs still having album of the year after the Kendrick release, gentlemen?
Yo, that's a perfect transition to what I was going to say, Tracy, because I love this album personally, but it still isn't my album of the year. I still got Freddie in that number 1 spot. You know what I mean? But I really like this album, but I will say out the gate that I'm not jumping out the window and saying this is album of the year.
Pray tell, do tell. Go ahead. Keep going.
So,
keep going, AG. You're on fire. Keep going.
Group love this.
So
enjoying every second of it.
So for this album though, the thing that I noticed off rip, you know what I mean, and I'm not gonna go track for track, but the feel of the intro. The feel of the intro, that's important to set the tone of a record. So once I put that intro on in the whip and he addressed everything that he addressed from, the Wayne Super Bowl thing, shouted out Nas for congratulating him, the Snoop and Taylor Made stuff, Drake, Cole, he addressed it all out the gate and did it in appropriate fashion where I don't think nothing was really a diss. It's just letting us know where he is mentally with the whole scene at this time. And I think it was a dope track for an intro. And going throughout the album, one thing I noticed is he kept it real West Coast and real vibey. And I appreciated that. Now, a lot of people might say that these sounds like, shout out to my homie Trife. He's saying like he has a bunch of remixes of Not Like Us on the album. But
we got notes.
The thing about that is though, 2 of the joints he got with Mustard, the Hey Now and then the TV Off. We don't know if these records were conceived before Not Like Us, because sometimes when you're in a rhythm as an artist, you might be in a certain bag, and maybe that Not Like Us song was birthed from those sessions, and he was already in that bag. We don't know, but just from the fans getting that later after the fact, it looks like he's trying to recreate Not Like Us. But even if that's the case, I can't be mad at that because ride the wave, ride it till the wheels fall off. And if you want to keep the wave going, do it with a song with some songs on their own merit and not have to link it back to the song that it came from, which is a diss song. Keep that same vibe and everything going. Keep that hyphy movement going. So conceptual records, once he had some hooks in here. We talked about this on the Corday album with the nostalgia bait. But I mean, it was hook, line, and seeker for me. Like Man at the Garden, the interpolation of one mic, I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Right out the gate. Love that record.
Hold on one second. AG, let me get to a couple of super chats. I don't want them to slide too far.
Okay, go ahead.
You're coming in, yeah. Thanks, Coop.
No problem. Ill Magic with the $5. GNX is not album of the year. Rhapsody still has that. It's a fun ride. West Coast album, but it's not a classic. Mad Max 199. Who is he to be addressing Snoop in life, though? What's up, Mad Max? You want to know what, Mad Max? I'm gonna tolerate you today. We're gonna see if we can't work it out. It's getting close. It's getting close to 2025, Max. The coaching session of our relationship is over. It's time for you to start showing improving. Like, Mad Max with the 199 super chat once again. And Swifty producers executive produced the LP. We are going to talk about that. Mad Max 199 again. I see it's about to be a Mad Max kind of show. Go read the first verse on Peekaboo. Horrible bars. Yeah, we're going to talk about Peekaboo too.
Yeah.
Peekaboo, how about Hide Away? Hide this track away. But anyway, AG, back to you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So we're talking about the ones I love. I'll get to the ones that I would skip here in a second. But also Reincarnated, probably the best on the album. It's ironic because Coop, if you remember a couple weeks ago,
you said
it might be the best song on the album.
Reincarnated.
Might be. I'm undecided. Still early. It's in my top 5 though. So it's either Reincarnated, Man at the Garden, or Heart Part 6. One of those 3.
So ridiculous. That is absurd that you said that. That is absurd that you said.
Well, we'll get your opinion in a minute. We don't need it right now. So like I was saying, wow. Reincarnated, if you remember on the show a couple weeks ago, we had a Pac Machiavelli era conversation, and it's an obscure Pac reference, but I talked about how that was one of my favorite Pac records, and I think he was coming a better MC on that. Yeah. So when I heard this record, it was hook, line, and seeker again, but the concept, it's hard to get past the surface listening when it's a Pac record and he's like rhyming like Pac, but the concept is pretty brilliant.
Is he rhyming like Pac? Oh my God.
This is his best Pac rendition, whatever. But the concept is pretty brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the fall of Lucifer from Isaiah and all that, do the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And look that up. But moving on, I'm glad y'all brought up Peekaboo. That's one of the songs I didn't like at first and I considered a skip. It's kind of growing on me now. Dodger Blue sounds like something that could have been on Damn. Really like that record. Luther is a hit. I love Luther. GNX, the title track, is the worst. That's going to forever remain a skip. GNX is, I don't think it's good at all. Glory is a dope concept in the vein of I used to love her and all that. His relationship with his pen, you know what I'm saying, and his craft. Dope record. But yeah, the rest of it, you know what I will say? No, it's not album of the year. No, it's not a 5 mic classic. It's a solid effort. I give it personally a 4 mic rating. It's my 3rd favorite album from him because I've never been a To Pimp a Butterfly fan. So I can put this over To Pimp a Butterfly easy. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I've never been a fan of that album.
No,
what I appreciate,
it's not that you're gonna get a hate, it's just that you're totally wrong.
Well, like I said, we'll get to you in a minute. So what I do enjoy about this album is it's not like a singular theme throughout the whole album. Kendrick's known to be very conceptual and go in these deep dives for the common thread or theme of the album. This is just an album you can put on and vibe to, and it got a bunch of joints. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time we're asking for cohesiveness from a lot of artists, but Kendrick gives us that in the concepts for the most part. So I appreciate it's a song you don't have to think too much when you put it on. It's just an easy listening joint. You can ride out to it, and it got the West Coast vibes. But it's a nice capper at the end of the year. It's not album of the year by any means. And here's what's funny. I was talking to my son, and I think that lyrically, what Cole did on Might Delete Later is more impressive what Kendrick did on this album from a lyrical standpoint. But I just feel like the songs on this sound bigger and better overall, more aesthetically pleasing, if that makes sense. Like TV off, I definitely think he's going to play TV off at the Super Bowl. But you know what I'm saying? And it was good to hear Squabble Up. But that's my thoughts for the most part.
Let's get to the super chat right quick, Sean, and then you can,
Yeah.
think it's better than To Pimp a Butterfly?
I like it better. I didn't say it was better. I said I like it better.
Okay.
There's a difference.
CJ the Kid, $10. Holla. What up, man? Just got here. Hope you guys are doing well. Have you guys addressed the Lil Wayne debacle yet? Do you think Wayne's ego will permit a round 2? Feel like MK with Dot having to face Final Boss now. MK meaning Mortal Kombat. I'm assuming. Mortal Kombat. MK. Mortal Kombat.
I don't know if it's Final Boss. We'll see. We'll talk about that too.
All right. Mad Max with the $9.99 super chat. AG rhyming like Pac. Reincarnated show how much better Pac from Dot, and Man at the Garden shows why Nas was way better than him. His voice weak, his bars weak. He has no business being mentioned.
I love that Mad Max here. We're gonna get so many super chats tonight.
Actually, Mad Max. Oh God, he's halfway right, AG. He's halfway right. It's not that he doesn't belong. I'm still not totally sold if he belongs in their stratosphere, but he would be the closest thing to it.
Do you not like the concept of the record?
I love the concept, and I think the third verse is phenomenal. And the third verse is the verse of the year contender.
Okay.
But overall, he fails so miserably vocally trying to imitate Pac on any level. It's a no for him vocally to try to do that. Because in Pac, you have a top 5 voice, like period. And with this guy, he might have the worst voice of all the all-time great rappers. It's a no.
Yeah, Kendrick, that's his Achilles heel. Out of all the MC attributes, his voice is his worst attribute.
Sean, I want you to go ahead and go because I'm gonna do a disclaimer on the behalf of Hip Hop Talks when I go.
We have one more super chat.
One more super chat. Michael Williams, $5. Dot paying homage to Nas, Big, and Pac on the album is dope. Even the cover art seemed like a nod to Jay on Volume 2 in front of the Bentley. That crossed my mind.
Yep. Tracy G got one too. Cool.
Oh shit, Tracy, back at it. $5. Hell nah in my mild voice. Cole smashed this nigga Kenny on MDS. Kenny fell off like the Simpsons. Real talk, not like the Simpsons. Don't be. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Yo,
those are our people. Let's try.
Tracy always go to defend Cole. We can count on that.
I swear. Where's Tracy from? Tracy from the Nom?
Hey, Tracy, I've been listening to the warm up too. They put the warm up on streaming, so don't shoot at me. I've been listening to the warm up all weekend too.
He need to cool down. That's what he need to do. Drop his damn 888. All right, Sean, on you, man. Tell me what your thoughts are. AG gave his. AG, you say it's a 4?
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Give it a 4. Hold on, we got one more super chat. Cool.
One more super chat. CJ the Kid back at it with $10. Can't wait to hear the breakdown from Coop and hear the historical references. I remember, Coop, you brought up how Malcolm X was Malcolm Little before that in order to explain why 444 wasn't a classic. Yeah, I did do that. Damn, that was good.
This is Chicago.
Oh, that was good. That's some good stuff. Detroit Red up in here.
All right. So I'm going to start with Love. Solid album. AG, I disagree. I don't think that he was trying to reenact Pac's voice or Pac's tone in Reincarnated. I think we got to compartmentalize the beat versus what Kendrick was actually doing with that song. Reincarnated, the first verse, I think it was more so an ode to Jimi Hendrix, the way he kind of broke things down, timeline wise, and just the guitar. He talked about Chicago, 1947, all of those things. I listened to that song a few times, and I'm getting a little bit of Jimi Hendrix out of that. The second verse,
the timelines don't add up. A lot of people were talking about Jimmy, but the time don't add up. A lot of people are thinking that that's for Jackie Wilson.
I was looking at too. I thought Jackie was there, but it's still not adding up with everything else he was saying. Yeah. So I think he leaves it for interpretation. Best, right. Even the second one, I think the second verse, people were saying Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday.
Well, right, based on the way he conceptualized that second verse. Reincarnated, the energy around Reincarnated, you cannot go wrong with that beat. You cannot go wrong with anything, and that's one of those ones that Pac had. And then AJ, you talked about it a couple of weeks ago on one of our shows, and you're talking about that actual song and that beat. So you really can't go wrong with that. Whacked Out Murals, I think that was a good tone setter. He addressed certain things that the fans wanted him to address. You know, he mentioned Wayne. I don't think it was a diss, and we'll talk about that later. I don't think it was truly a diss. It was just, hey, look, why you not championing me in this moment? I don't look at that.
It was like the Nas Pete Rock line, not really a diss, but just letting them know that I see you.
I see.
No.
I didn't see it as a diss. We can debate that, but I didn't see that as a diss.
It was not as disrespectful as an open hand slap. But I heard what the five fingers say to the face when he said that.
No, I think Wayne jumping out there makes it much more than what it really was, because he only gave like not even a bar. He was just like,
hold on. What did he say right after the Wayne bar though?
Whatever though.
Yeah, whatever though. Yeah. I mean,
because he's saying, I mean, we're gonna let you get back to your point, Sean, but he's basically saying somebody who I wanted to attain what they had, and I worked hard at that. Now they hating on me because my hard work is paid off. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? I used to look at Wayne like that.
But no, let's address the fact that he is talking on this album like people have been hating on him when he's been the darling golden child this entire generation.
He had you in mind, too.
This shit is extremely out of touch and off base, like tone. But we'll talk about it.
He had you in mind. You were in the liner notes, like, yo, shout out to Coop.
Definitely. That's in my notes. It's like, okay, so this nigga's heard about me. He's addressing all the shit that I.
Somebody told him something. Somebody told him something. Yeah. I like Squabble Up.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I like Squabble Up. Going back and sampling Debbie Dell, you know, Brooklyn Night. Shout out to Debbie Dell. Being able to sample that joint, and to me, that was the best part of that song. I'm be honest with you. I love that song, a breakdancing song. Shout out to my uncle Danny, called him Shabba-Doo. He's a breakdancer, joints like that. That's just one of those songs, man. You can't go wrong with that as well. So I love Squabble Up. Man at the Garden, you know, reminiscent of One Mic, right? Love that song. Love the tone of that song. Love what he did with that song. Reincarnated, of course, we talked about that. Luther, it's a hit. Heart Part 6, solid. Gloria, I looked at Gloria as very similar to I Gave You Power by Nas, another conceptual song talking about his pen. The ones I didn't really care for, Head Now, GNX, and Peekaboo and TV Off. I know TV Off is the one that people talk about the most because he's screaming mustard, sounding crazy. You know, I get it. I get that, but that song to me doesn't do much for me. Without you take that mustard part off of it, I feel like TV Off is another one that to me is a skip for me. But yo, I think the album is solid. I would give it a solid 4. I think that the replay value for me has been solid over the weekend so far. I listened to it again today with my 12-year-old. I asked her what she think about the songs. She thought it was okay. We kind of had a similar view on some of those songs, and I just feel like I think this album may have a little bit of legs until the next one come out at the end of the year. Hint, hint. But I think that he did what he was supposed to do, Cool. Honestly, I think that he did everything that people like yourself wanted him to do. You say you wanted an album. You wanted him to rap. You wanted him to be digestible. You wanted all of these things. This album is one of the most listening albums that was crazy. I thought I was going to keep on talking so you won't say anything.
You try to smoothly go through that, but you know.
This is one of the most.
I tried to let you finish till AG cut you off. I just had
to thank you. AG Cooping right now. This is easy. My bad. I came out the wrong way. This is an easy listening album. This is an album that's easy on the ear. And Kendrick has a tendency to be very complex as a writer, as a performer. But this is very easy listening. And because it's easy listening, it allows the listener to be able to go back and listen to it over and over. And that's why I'm at with mine. So cool. What you got?
I'm gonna hit these super chats. Super chats. Yeah. Then I'm gonna hit the heavy bag. Because Mama said knock you out. Michael Williams, do you have this Kendrick album over You Only Die Once? I believe none of us do. All right. Glad we got that out.
Can I ask Sean a quick question? you kind of glossed over the heart part 6. Like, do y'all like the detailing of what happened with TDE and all that, and just the fact that he put a heart part 6 on the album when people thought that he wasn't going to revisit that because you had the Drake diss track of the same name. So
no, he did the right thing. You got to put that on there.
Okay.
He said, disregard what Drake did. I'm going to keep with my theme. I'm not going to skip over and say heart part 7. That doesn't count.
And what about the story of it? How'd you feel about the story on that?
I love the story. It shows vulnerability. It shows like really what happened behind the scenes, where he was feeling, how he really felt about it. I love vulnerable songs like that. You can't go wrong with that. That's something that we need more, because you heard stories, you heard the rumblings about it, but he addressed most of that, whether it's fabrication or whatever. He addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating stuff, gentlemen. Tracy G with the $5 super chat. Cole is the GOAT, but real talk, if Ja Rule can't do Pac, Kenny can't either. 100. Tracy G, I'm with you, my G. I'm with you, my G.
No, that's a hell of a super chat. What did Ja Rule say? Y'all want to see Pac, niggas?
Don't do that. We're not done with the super chat of Kenny. Big Me, why is he looking for? Congrats. Mad Max 999, Sean Lyon, he at NYC Ninja. He not bumping this after next week. He'll be playing Lost Tapes to cleanse its ears.
I played it this morning. So what do you mean? Yo, Mad Max is crazy.
I love this. Anytime we get a Kendrick topic, Mad Max gonna come through with about 200 in super chat. So I'm all for it.
Him and Sean are toe to toe for hater of the year. Okay, they're toe to toe for hater of the year. When we have the haters ball at the end of the year, we should go on the Haters Ball podcast and do the Hater Ball Awards. But I mean, shit. But
Sean's so much of a hater. Remember when we loved the Gibbs and he was hating on the Gibbs, and then you said you just said we all agreed that this was better than the Gibbs, and then Sean started squirming in his seat.
That's that internal hate that the camera can't like take away. That's that nonverbal communication. That's that nonverbal hate.
Oh,
see you niggas at the awards.
Okay, that's a grimy, man.
We're the grimy ones. That's wild. CJ the Kid with the $10 super chat. I set the trap just to see dude react. You guys think Dodd said that bar so that in case Wayne does fire at him, Dodd will diss him at the Super Bowl or on some Summer Jam screen on steroids?
Not at Super Bowl.
No, I don't think that'll happen. That's not the place for that.
Not the place for that at all.
Yeah.
He might have a hard time getting New Orleans.
You know these white people are not about to let that happen. They're gonna be like, you're doing what? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yo, I like the shirt, Coop, with the tapes on. I just now peeped that.
Oh, yeah. This was a birthday gift from last year. Shout out to Ari. Let me see. Michael Williams, $5. T2 in the chat wild, and he said this album puts Kendrick over Stevie, Prince, and Pac. Well, T2's doing cocaine. It's Judgment Day. He decided to go skiing, and I don't mean in Colorado.
That's a troll. That's a troll comment.
He's seeing spaceships on Bankhead. T2 seeing spaceships on Bankhead. Shout out to Fabo. One of the many niggas Kendrick is biting on this album. Anyway, the 007 with the $9.99 super chat. Coop, if the tip of the hat to Rakim doesn't make you happy, there is no hope.
That started off real weird.
Please don't. We don't have time. There are too many people in the chat tonight for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Kenny may even drop again next year. And off the Misstepper album, he is on an upward trajectory. He has the crown, undeniable. I would submit to you that the two of the best words in the English language are called reasonable doubt. I'm not talking about Jay's debut album. FR33 with the $5. When Reincarnated started, he sounded like a little kid doing a Tupac impression in the mirror. That's disrespectful and accurate. Ill Magic $4.99. I will say Cube's album is better. Yeah.
No, Ill Magic.
Hell no. And I love Cube. Cube is one of my favorites, but hell no, respectfully.
No.
Yeah. Glad we had this talk. Sean, so you said you're giving it a 4?
I'm giving it a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna be Jay-Z 444? Like, nah, we ain't gonna be that. You know, Koof ain't giving it a 4.
I'll go back and change my rating before we do that.
We know your hating ass will. Matter of fact, if you do that, this might put you over Mad Max to win Hater of the Year. This could be the hater moment.
Sean be hating on Jay for no reason just because they got the same name.
You know how college players got to have a Heisman moment? Sean's waiting for his hater moment.
Yeah.
Like, here's the moment that my hate
waiting.
shows on all the levels of hate that I provide.
Yeah. Sean told me one time he was about to change his name to SEAN because his was spelled just like Jay's, and he said he was going legally to change it to SEAN.
Trying to pop me right now, man.
Man. So I want to say that a lot of people think that I'm about to hate on this album. I'm not about to do that. I'm about to do what I always do. Now, first of all, I want to say I think people have me confused, guys. Now, I don't like Lupe or Talib at all in real time, real life. Can't stand,
We know that.
can't stand niggas like that. Oh, holier than thou, above the cloud ass niggas. Can't stand these uppity ass niggas. This is from an uppity ass nigga. That's how y'all know these niggas is uppity, because I'm uppity, super uppity. But when it's time for their album to drop, I'm always fair. And so I really don't appreciate people pulling up like I'm not fair. Lupe has dropped 2 projects. Since he and I have got into it, they've both gotten 4s from me. I gave Talib and Most early album of the year before I realized that I needed to teach them what business and economics in the fucking modern day times look like. They're on some fucking streaming service that's not even meant to mix down music. That's another conversation for another day. What I'm saying is I handed them out 4s and 5s, and I can't stand them. I don't have a problem with Kendrick. I have a problem with you niggas. And I don't mean you 2 niggas. I have a problem with you 2 niggas too, but I'm talking about the rest of you. Because all you do is cape and cap for him instead of being fair. And all I've been is fair. You want to know how I know that I've been fair? First of all, I don't hear anybody, as much as they like this album, really calling it album of the year like that. That's because it's not. So let's go ahead and get that shit out the way, off the table. It's not album of the year. Now, here's what that means. This will be the 2nd consecutive time that he hasn't dropped album of the year after doing it 3 consecutive times. Is it fair to say Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn are all album of the year for the years that they were released?
Yeah, but Damn probably could be arguable. I like Damn better, but some people would say 444 is better. That came out the same year.
Those people are doing cocaine with T2 in the bathroom in Buckhead.
But yeah, but I wouldn't. I like Damn better. And for me, as much as I love Good Kid, Mad City, Life is Good is a close second, but I wouldn't put it over Good Kid though.
So by most accounts though, AG, he has 3 album of the years in most people's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you win album of the year 3 times in a row, and then the next 2 times drop, you do not win album of the year. You know what that is called in real life, in real terms, right? It's called a drop off. And so this album,
I don't think there's anybody that has done it 4 times every time out.
This album, but this is the 2nd time. So this album is good, but let's acknowledge the fact that there's a drop off. What this album is to me is actually closer to Section 80. It's not on Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, or Good Kid, Mad City level. It's so the classic talk, that's not it. It's a really good project from an all-time great artist. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just needs to get treated that way. So I don't want to hear this, oh, this is GOAT talk. And it's none of that. There's no GOAT talk on here. There are barely verse of the year contenders on here. The verse 3 on Reincarnated to me would probably be the closest thing to a verse of the year contender on here. He doesn't have a lot of those either, guys.
That's what I was saying about Might Delete Later and what Cole did lyrically. Like, that was more impressive.
Cole,
you know,
I would agree with you that lyrically, Cole is better on Might Delete Later than Kendrick is on this album. But I will tell you that I would give Kendrick the overall mic performance.
Absolutely. The records sound better.
The records sound better when he hits the mark. So let's go ahead and address the next thing. Now, this is better than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It's 10 times better. So I need people to get off my ass about me dragging that crappy ass album through the mud. I drug it through the mud because I already seen dirt on it. The album's not any good. We can say that with clear, unequivocal thought today after listening to this project, right?
I like it better than To Pimp a Butterfly, but objectively, I can't say that it's better, but I enjoy it more than To Pimp a Butterfly.
It's easy to listen. Yeah.
It's an easy listen. That's another thing, too. What's up with the subject matter on this album, guys? I thought this was your socially conscious king. That's why when I sent the tweet out, so this is your king. It's like your king kind of talks like everybody else talk. You just got better talk game. You know what I'm saying? Like his spit game is just better. He's not really saying anything like new or special. All of these guest appearances you can scratch outside of SZA, guys. You can scratch all the guest appearances outside
They're
of SZA.
virtually unknowns. But to that
No,
talk that you
it's
were
not
to,
about being unknown. We didn't know who Stove God was like that on Jose Canseco. It's
that's
about
true.
making your mark, and a
Right.
Kendrick Lamar album is the perfect fucking time to make your mark as an MC. None of the guys showed up to the party appropriately. SZA fucking delivered because Luther and
Her
Gloria
features are
are
great.
two of the 5 best songs on the album.
I don't know if I agree with that, Coop. I think they did what they supposed to do. I think they actually did what they were supposed to do.
No,
They
these
not-
niggas, no.
Well,
Okay,
a feature to Coop's point, if you artist Kendra's caliber, when you have a feature that's somebody who is a virtual unknown, you would hope that they could be able to make their presence on the track and stand next to him. Kendrick was going back and doing back and forth, and they sound like they shouldn't maybe even be on the track with him. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's talk about some executive production moments right here, and let's talk about some thought process, and let's talk about his creative bag right quick. First of all, I'm with AG on the Love Part 6. I think the Love Part 6 might be the best song on this whole fucking album, actually. It's
The
in
story is great.
It's in contention for it. It's definitely a top 3 song. Shout out to Kendrick and the Freddie for flipping R&B samples on their album that we were not expecting niggas to rap to. Who the fuck thought somebody was going to rap over Cupid and by 112 and Use Your Heart by SWV? Excellent choices, excellent production. Both of those are excellent songs and some of my favorite work that I've heard this year. The next song is GNX, guys. You just spent this whole time. No, listen, if you listen to what I'm about to say, you just spent this whole time breaking down the whole TDE thing, and then you go do a posse cut song right after that breakdown when the real move, the real chess move, is to get J Rock, Ab Soul, and Q on that record. What the fuck are we talking about? And why am I the only person that noticed how major of a misstep and a moment that could have been for him to give the full analysis and breakdown and then slide into a posse cut?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
What the fuck are we talking about? That's why those guest appearances don't matter, but that's executive production. And I'm going to tell you what, at that point when that happened, because from the notes that I was taking on it, that's when I realized, well, a lot is made of his album making ability. A lot of the album making ability lies in his creative genius. His creative genius is not the same, guys. He is pulling from multiple places at multiple times. For the first time, when using a Kendrick experience is a Kendrick Lamar experience. It's not a Tupac interpretation experience. It's not a Fabo riff. It's not a Nas interpretation. It's not a Rakim bar. You get what I'm saying? It's usually never those things with him. I take that as a mark that his creative juice is not the same. And that's why I was telling y'all, it's like, well, those battle songs, it's like, oh no, that's the first time we heard that guy. And there's nothing wrong because when I talk about this happening with Kanye, everybody fucking agrees. But when I say the same thing about this guy, so oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, no, he didn't used to have to do stuff like this to make the songs palatable.
But all MCs do that though, Coop.
Him stepping to the mic used to be palatable enough. It did. There didn't used to be need an album where the best songs. Think about it, AG. Your best song is a Tupac impersonation. The next song that you think is great is a Nas impersonation. Another one of the best songs has a Fabo riff on it.
Yeah, but all MCs do that. We can't. Kendrick can't be indicted for that when all MCs do the same thing. This is what I'm saying.
Yes, he can, because we hold our greatest MCs to different standards, which is my whole point, AG. What you just said is my problem with his fan base, because they're like, no, other MCs do that. Other MCs are not Kendrick Lamar, according to everybody, including me.
Then Jay would have to get docked a lot of points then, if that's the case. But he's still number 2 all time on your list, though.
I dock Nas all the time and be like, man, he could have kept that shit.
But I'm talking about taking stuff from other people.
Nobody says no, but when I'm saying like when I talk about Nostradamus, nobody really says a word when I do that shit. You feel what I'm saying? I be like, man, he could have kept that. Nobody says nothing. I'll be like, yo, I'm like, this dude ain't made a good album in 8 years. You're crazy. He's the greatest MC of all time. It's like, no, nigga, he made a good album in 8 years. Now I'm gonna stop saying that shit today because he actually made a dope album. So the drought of him actually making a quality album, it does officially end with the release of this project. This is a good project, but much like I started seeing with Kanye, it's more flashes than it is the consistent brilliance that you're used to. And we need to acknowledge that and accept that and stop acting like this is the same guy that made Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn, which has been the whole premise of my point this whole time. He's not that guy anymore. He's still great. He's still great. He's still all-time great. He's not that guy. That's what I've been saying. And people,
but what if it's an effort to not do that? Because that's what I appreciated about the album, though.
AG, he just don't got the juice like that no more to fucking pump it out like that anymore. It's okay. It happens.
What do you want him to do?
Crazy.
I'd rather it be an album like this instead of one of those heavy concept albums where you could just put on, listen to joints. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather it be that.
But that's what I'm saying. He used to be able to do both at the same damn time, to quote Future.
Cool. What do you want him to do?
You can't. It got to be one or the other. You can't ask for both. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not asking for both. I'm just acknowledging the obvious
because when he goes heavy down that lane, you get a Mr. Morale. You know what I'm saying?
I said the album was good. Did I not? Did I not just say that I was going to stop saying that he hadn't made a good album in 8 years?
But I'm talking about the approach, though. The approach. You know what I'm saying? You said he can't do that no more. I'm saying maybe it was a concerted effort to not do that, to make a more loose album.
No, because Mr. Morale is proof that he can't do that anymore. But you can think differently if you'd like. In my opinion, Mr. Morale is the proof that his ability of making palatable, highly socially and conscious and aware songs that deliver and hit the mark and still like have replay value. I think Mr. Morale proves that those days are done for him. This is an easier pull off. Now, here's what I will say. I do feel like this nigga's been listening to me because everything I've been saying he don't do, he tried to do on this album. I said, outside of Good Kid, Mad City, you wouldn't know that this nigga's from Cali. Oh, this shit sounds so Cali, don't it? Like some of these records,
but it still ain't good though.
A lot of no, it's not that. No, I rated a lot of these records from the perspective of knowing. Well, I actually like the fact and going to give him an extra bonus point, even though I have some of these songs rated lower. But I understand the mission statement, and this is his West Coast album. Mm-hmm. He hasn't made a West Coast album. That's what I've been telling you. I was like, we got a nigga that y'all saying is like,
Good Kid. Good Kid's real West Coast.
It is a West Coast album.
For its time. That's why I've been saying, if you don't know about Good Kid, Mad City, you don't even know that this guy's from Compton. And that's true. If you don't know about Good Kid, Mad City and Section 80, you don't know this nigga from Compton until today. Like until this album drops. And
but like Joe was saying on his show, this album's like a dog whistle for West Coast. Like it's it's very
So a lot of this shit is gonna bang on the West and they're gonna love it, but in the overall specter, not as much. And I did try to keep that in mind. Like there are joints on here. Like, how about this? Oh no, West Coast niggas fuck with Peekaboo tough right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Peekaboo is one of those joints. It's like, it doesn't play in the overall sphere. But West Coast niggas gonna love it and gonna have a problem with you if you tell them that the shit ain't good. They about to have a problem with my black ass because I don't like it.
Let me ask you a question, Coop. So, and Sean alluded to this earlier that something else might be on the way. I don't know if you saw the teaser for this album, but on the teaser for this album, it was a song playing that wasn't even on this track list, right? So it might be something else coming down the pipeline. So what if that's the conceptual album that you're talking about? He just put this out as kind of like people saying a mixtape, appetizer album. So, just to kind of throw it out there for the real deal.
No, AG, please don't confuse what I am saying. I'm more okay with him doing this than him doing the concept stuff because I don't think he can deliver the concept stuff anymore. That's part of why this album is good. Part of the reason why this album is good is because how about this? It's like this. Sometimes a painter in their prime paints on the biggest canvas that they can find, and they have the capability in the paint to paint on that canvas. When they get older, sometimes they have to condense and work on smaller work because it's easier. They don't have as much time. Their hand is not as steady as it used to be. They've been painting so long that they get the shakes sometimes. They got to take more of a break. And so what this is it's still a picture from him, and it's still a beautiful picture. It's in a smaller, more condensed frame because that's what works for him better at this point. He can
so
give
you
us,
are saying he did execute on Gloria, Man at the Garden, and you said he executed those concepts or no?
let me read. I'll tell you what, AG, I'll do you one better. I'll give you my rating of the songs and my specific notes. Let's go to Gloria.
You got some super chat. You got some super
Okay,
chat.
let me do the super chats. Hold on. Where are we at?
Let me see.
Hold on.
Right here.
Hold on 1 second. Let me catch up because I'm old and I can't read that shit. You're gonna have to read that one, Sean, because I'm too far down in the chat.
Dot made this for the city, LA. This wasn't for y'all.
See already. Mad Max with the $1.99 super chat. Coop, To Pimp a Butterfly, not over DS2 Gang or that Tribe album. That's crazy talk, Mad Max. We're gonna have to start banning you, but keep sending super chats. Tracy G, $2. There is no 3001 on GNX. Okay. Mad Max $1.99. He's too Mexican saying the N-word on this album. Mad Max, we don't have time to unpack all that tonight. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Oh,
the election's over.
Hey, I don't care what Max is trying to do, long as it's in a super chat, man. Shout out to you, Max.
The election's over. White people want to win, Max. Get over it.
Yeah.
Brandon Rogers, $10. Kendrick did one thing that Coop requested. This is probably his most West Coast sounding album in his catalog. My issue is people like him are polarizing. His stan and haters are annoying. CJ the Kid, $10. I felt like this was Dot trying to do his version of what Dre did on The Chronic by bringing some unknowns at the time and giving them a platform to be something bigger. The execution did not match. CJ, the no-names Dr. Dre bought were Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Warren G, Corrupting Daz, the Lady of Rage.
It's crazy.
What the fuck are we talking about?
It's crazy looking
CJ,
back.
I love you. Don't ever do that again. It's ridiculous. It's the best unsigned roster ever to step into a studio. Period. We got more super chats?
No, that was the last one for right now.
Okay, so I think Gloria, first of all, matter of fact, AG, let me just read this to you. You'll love this. Masterful and majestic. Perfect beat for his vocal range on this song. Vocal range is overall impressive on this album outside of Reincarnated. SZA with the I Gave You Power line is like foreshadowing a clue of how the record is going to end. Truly brilliant. SZA low-key helps push this album over the top. Possibly the best record on this album. I gave Gloria a 5 out of 5. On Man at the Garden, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I said One Mic Part 2. He's not the GOAT, but he does have a chip on his shoulder and a competitive will that all GOATs have in all professions. And I put in parentheses Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Nas, Jay. So those are my thoughts on those two records. So I do believe that he executed on those songs.
I'm just trying to understand. So you're saying he can't string together a whole album of these is what you're getting at?
Oh, no. Okay. Those days are done. Okay. That's what I mean. But
I disagree, but I just wanted to clarify what you were saying. Like, he could do it like flashes, but not for a whole album.
Flashes. And those, in my opinion, that and The Heart Part 6, those are 3 of the 5 best records on the album. So he can do it in that bag, but those 3 records are really the only time he's in that bag.
But even if he could, I didn't want that now. I like the the Luther and TV Off and joints like Dodger Blue sprinkled in there with those concept records to me to make them stand out even more.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't like Dodger Blue. You can keep that.
Oh, I love that record. It sounds like you could put it on Damn, man. It's a vibe. I love that record.
This is exactly what my note was on this album, on that record, and I already know what it is. It's like, I don't know if I love this beat or hate this beat. Kill that shit. I hate when I feel that way about a record. I don't know if I should love the beat or hate the beat. If I got to ask myself if I love a beat or hate a beat, you're asking me to do too much because I already got to listen to Kendrick. No.
Can I ask both of y'all a question? Do y'all respect that he didn't put any of the diss tracks on here to try to ride that way?
It's the first thing I noticed, and I do respect it.
I do too.
First
I'm
thing.
glad he didn't do that. I would have looked at that funny if he did.
It would have taken so much away
Can I
from
answer that
his
too?
legacy potentially and from the album. I love that he didn't do it.
Yeah. What'd you say, Sean?
I'm good. Go ahead.
No, I mean, what do you think about that? The not putting the diss tracks on them.
We got a super chat real quick. We got 2 of them actually.
Okay, that's Sean's way of saying I don't have feelings. We had super chats. Ill Magic with the $5 super chat. Would y'all say Lupe has outshined Doc conceptually between their last 2 albums they've dropped in this era? Drill and Samurai Morale GNX. It's like, yeah, but that's like saying, oh man, does that person have a better crossover than Steph Curry? It's like, yeah, can he shoot like Steph? Is he playing like Steph all the time? Like nobody cares about one thing that you do well if the motherfucker does everything else better.
Lupe is hard to out conceptualize. The problem with Lupe, he struggles to bring it down to where it's like easily digestible.
How about this? What Kendrick just did just now that I'm giving him credit for. This is Lupe's problem. Can't get an album like this from Lupe. Like there will be no squabble up from Lupe is the problem. That's the problem. Am I wrong?
Early on, he could do that, but not now. I don't feel like he could.
He hasn't been able to do that since the Cool, dude. That's too. My daughter wasn't alive when the Cool came out. She about to graduate from high school, nigga. I just drove her car. Car's driving great, by the way, sweetie. She's on vacation. She hit me. You know how real this shit is? My daughter's been on a cruise ship for a week, and when the Kendrick dropped, ain't text me, ain't talk to me about nothing. I got to check up every day. That Kendrick dropped, she was like, yo, daddy. You seen Kendrick drop, right? Y'all doing a show?
It's news.
It's a deal. Even all the way from a boat in the Bahamas, it's a deal. Tracy G with the $5. This album was like Black Panther 1, overhyped and not good. It's not that bad.
Whoa. Black Panther 1 is a classic. That's crazy.
No, I'm with Tracy. That album fucking sucks, and you're tripping.
I thought she was talking about the movie.
No, I was talking about the soundtrack.
Oh, thank God.
You better be talking about the soundtrack.
I was about
to crash out. I was like, yo, Black Panther 1 is a classic, yo.
Blocked out. Yeah. Yeah, about to block that, John. Shut up, G.
Me and John had the same reaction.
R. Johnson with the $5 super chat. This is his first super chat. The LA rap community will have a rude awakening when they find out the rap fans outside of Cali only fuck with Kendrick and Tyler. That's not true. Larry June. There's plenty of dope West Coast artists out there.
Cali's had a hell of a year, low key. I mean, high key.
Just dropped again.
Yeah, all of Cali. Yeah, Cali is the forefront right now. Cali's leading the pack right now.
Absol, you know what I'm saying? Schoolboy, Cali killing it. Tyler.
Saying R. Johnson, that's your first super chat with us, my G. That's what you gonna do with it.
Big hit in the game. It's been a lot of Cali stuff this year.
Big hit in the game, the top 5 album this year.
That's up there.
Yeah, shout out to Cali, man. Shout out to the whole West Coast, man. Shout out to all the West Coast. West Coast doing it up right now. The West Coast is actually running things right now. Let's keep it real.
It would appear. It would appear.
All about all that. We'll talk about that at the year-end review. We'll know about all that.
Yeah.
We'll see. CJ the Kid with the $10 super chat. Damn, Coop. I was just saying Kendrick might have tried to do the same concept with new artists. I didn't say that Dot has Dre's ear and foresight to see if the artist will have the same future. Okay. But he needed to execute right now. Damn the future. Where my TDE record after the Hard Part 6?
But cool, what is your argument?
Production? Some of these beats ain't all that either. The production on this album is not up to par with where he is still as an MC. Because him at 85% is still better than 95% of the league. Let's be clear. That's what I'm saying. Like people take some of my stances and some of my takes like differently from like how I actually see things and how I actually feel about things when it comes to him. It's like, oh no, I'll take him at 85%. He's better than 95% at 85%. Acknowledge that it's fucking 85% and this shit is not 100 anymore though.
Well, Sean had a question for you though.
Argument though. What is
nobody asked Sean if he had a question? Nobody cares about Sean's question.
I'm trying to help you understand your feelings. Right now, your feelings are all over the place. I'm trying to bring your feelings back in. Walk with me here.
I feel so traumatized by the last 2 Kendrick albums. I need therapy from what I have been through, from how people have felt about me feeling a certain type of way about these last 2 albums. I need therapy.
I get it, but that's what we're trying to help you out here because I even asked for some help. because I can't. It takes a village to help Coop in this situation. Because I do think you would like this album. I think you love this album. I think
don't love this album. Don't do that shit. I
think when you were at home this weekend, you was really loving this album in your comforts of your own home. And right now, you cannot process what's happening right now. You can't process it.
I said the album was good.
I guarantee when Squabble came on, you started dancing. I'm sure.
Squabble Up is hard. Squabble Up is hard.
I guarantee you were dancing. And you're trying to process all of this. I get it. So I had to ask for some help because we're a community that help each other. And I had to reach out to some folks that actually know and love Kendrick. A lot, Coop, because we're here to help you. This show is not about Kendrick. It's not Kendrick anymore. It's about
I want your help. I want your help.
It's about you, Coop.
Is this an intervention?
I want your help.
It's an intervention.
I want your help.
When Kendrick dropped the album, I
don't need help. You want to know what? You want to know what? You and me, we're going to have to squabble up. I don't need help.
I'm just cool.
But Coop, when you say it's good, you do have a backhanded complimentary tone about it.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to understand because you say it's good, but you're saying that he's not shooting at a high clip.
No, that's not. No, you're confusing me. I'm saying in relation. How about this? Is he an all-time great MC?
He's one of them. He's one of them.
Is he number one for this generation by all accounts?
Yes, you got to give it to him.
I don't have a problem with giving it to him. That's what I'm saying. So now that we've given him all of that, we rate him that way then, don't we? Because I judge Nas and Jay and Rakim and Scarface and Ghostface and those guys the hardest.
But you understand defending that it's not a classic. Nobody is saying it's a classic.
No.
It's a classic moment because it's capping off the year, but it's not a classic album.
I want to understand the argument. That's why I'm asking.
It's just good. There's nothing wrong with me. That's what I'm saying. When an all-time great MC drops a good album and I say that it's good because it's him, it's like, oh, but what is he trying to say? I'm saying that it's good.
Okay.
It's just not great.
What I said earlier in the show.
Moments. It's a really good album with some great moments.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So he was already having the best year, you know what I'm saying, of an MC, but we needed an album.
Those are lies. That's what I'm talking about.
Who was having a better year than Kendrick?
Real talk. How can somebody without an album be having the best year?
All right, before this album dropped, who was having the better year than Kendrick? Name him.
No.
Who?
I love Future's year right now. I said that on the last show.
Okay, you got Future.
Albums this year. He got the notoriety with it, and I said that last show. I said if I was picking an artist of the year, I would pick Future.
This is like a Jordan 91 year though.
Hold on. Where did this beef start? Actually, on what record?
On Future's joint.
Thank you. So
it did. Everybody just talked about that.
Impact, numbers, music, output. Future is outpacing Kendrick's on all metrics outside of one record, and you're going to tell me that Kendrick was the one running this year over Future? No, that's bullshit I'm talking about.
Okay, but after this album, would you say that now? Bro got the Super Bowl, took out Drake, the biggest artist there is. J. Cole apologized to the man on stage in front of thousands. He, you know what I'm saying, had the best feature there is this year, but like that. He has the best record of the year, but not like us.
Best feature this year. You think, AG, you know that feature's not that good. Don't do that.
Name a feature this year better than like that. Name it.
It's pulverizing. Cool, come on.
No, there's hold on, AG.
What feature made as much
AG,
noise as like that?
You're not talking about best. You're talking about most notoriety. Those are two different things.
Okay, but name one. All right, most notoriety is off the table. So we know that that's what it is.
We got a couple of super chats.
That's wild, AG. AG, that's the type of shit I expect from Sean. What are you doing?
Let's get the super chats real quick, cool.
Oh man, this is terrible. CJ the Kid. No. Did we read CJ the Kid's $10 super chat?
We did.
Yeah, last time.
Bohemian J just dropped his first super chat for $1.99, but he didn't say anything. There go Bohemian J again, $1.99. How much numbers do you guys think Kenny will do? What you think?
He's tracking right now pretty high. I think last time I saw it. Yeah, 300. Yeah,
300 sounds about right. I can see him doing 300.
All right.
CJ the Kid with the $10 super chat. Starting to feel like 92, 93 with the West Coast run. Makes me wonder who will be this generation's Wu-Tang, Nas, or Biggie to make East come with something that will stand out. Okay. So CJ the Kid. So I'm gonna have a little reality check. If there ain't no Wu-Tang's, Nas, or Biggie's walking through the door to stop this shit.
Nah, Griselda's keeping the East Coast alive. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
I'm gonna say that again. There are no Wu-Tangs.
They're not coming through.
Biggies.
No, they're not Wu, but they're you know what the East Coast
they're the most appropriate replacement we've got since they've been gone. Correct.
Yep.
Or post prime. Mad Max with the $9.99. I only bought the Mexican thing up since Adolf Hitler won a police who can say the N-word, and West ain't running nothing.
Yo, Mad Max is crazy.
You're gonna get it. Take the chat.
Yo, we got some guests. Y'all ready for our guests? We got some guests. Because
this is part of the intervention for Coop.
Part of intervention.
Man, fuck your intervention.
Yeah, never change, Coop. Never change. Please.
Coop, Sean, AG.
What's good?
I don't plan on changing. I don't plan on changing at all. How fascinating to meet you all again. I feel like we have been doing this for 4 years now.
I can't believe what I'm hearing on this episode from the person who is supposed to be the beacon of hip hop culture himself. Cool. I am highly disappointed in you today, good brother.
He said your light is dimming too, Coop. You said the Kendrick was dimming. Jarv said your light was dimming.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, bro.
No, talk to me. Hold on, Jarv. What are you taking issue with what I'm saying? Tell me what I'm saying
first
that you feel like is off base.
Before I even get into that, I want to shout you brothers out. You know what I mean? I love what you guys are doing. AG, you and I have had our differences. That's in the past now. We move forward with Sean. We build. We move forward. I love what y'all doing. Y'all see me in the chat regularly. Y'all crushing this shit tonight as per usual. I love what I'm seeing. When it comes to what I'm hearing from you, when you came to New York, right? You went to Queens.
Right.
Did you go to Harlem?
No, I did not get to go to Harlem.
Because you're giving Harlem hater energy right now. You know, Harlem dudes have a unique ability to compliment you while simultaneously insulting you.
Yeah. Lower East. Yeah.
He's saying.
They would tell you, yo, your fit is tough, while also telling you what they wouldn't have worn with that same fit they just told you was tough.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, as far as what you talk about when it comes to MCing, when it comes to controlling the space, when it comes to being dynamic, everything you talk about, Kendrick is doing it. And I don't even like this guy like that. But every time he shows up,
I say this is crazy coming from you.
He does all of the things we like our rappers to do. So when I see you here sometimes defending Aubrey adjacently, I get very confused because a man of the cloth as yourself, Kenny represents everything you love about this rap shit. So
Coop picks a hill and dies on it. He dies on whatever hill he's on. He stays there.
AG, in fact, the way Kenny responds to certain situations is very Coop-like. So I'm like, is it that they're too much alike that he can't see the vision? What's going on, Coop? Help me understand.
They're the same person.
Let me unpack some of what you said. So when you're talking about the things that he does, my biggest gripe is that Jarv, he hasn't really been doing those things in a long time. He does those things on this album. I'm giving him that. I'm giving him that. That's why I'm saying it's like, oh no, there is a part of me that is listening to this album today that, without any of my arrogance involved, which we all know is involved, it's like, oh no, this nigga made this album to shut me the fuck up. So now I have to bring my black ass up here on YouTube and be like, man,
you had to come home.
Album is really dope. No, this is what I asked for. I'm the one that I've been the main one champion for him. And it's like, yo, all that other Mr. Morale, all that concept, go home, make some West Coast shit. This is that. So I have no reason to complain in terms of the aesthetic that he chose. I do think some of the beat choices are questionable. I think the Pac riff, because of who he is vocally, questionable. But actually, and here's the crazy thing about it, and I didn't even get to this because I knew you guys had to jump in, but I think I may actually have this album rated higher than AG and Sean do. I just didn't get to that because when I rate all the songs, I gave this song, it's 12 records, right? I gave it 3 5s. I gave it 3 3s. I gave it 3 4.5s, and I gave it
That's
2 3.5s.
that's real crazy. That's crazy
It
because I was
doesn't sound like
listening.
you have high
Because
marks.
I was listening, and all I heard was he don't got the juice no more. Creatively, he's run out of mojo.
Y'all didn't catch it. He made those numbers up on the fly to save himself.
No, when I'm saying no. I have my ratings right here, and I haven't grabbed my pen. He is not creatively the same guy. I stand on that. His creative juice is not the same. Let's not act like it is. Like people running around thinking Glory is better
But why
than
not
Duckworth.
just?
Like
But why do
people
you
running
have
around
to
thinking
say
Glory
that
is
though?
like you think Glory is better than Duckworth? Come on, let's keep it real.
No.
But does it have to be?
Is Squabble Up better than Money Trees?
But why do you have to highlight that
Why do
though?
we do that?
So all I've been saying is
Squabble Up is crazy, bro.
Let's go.
Squabble Up
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Squabble Up great.
Squabble Up
Now see,
will go down as
you
one of Kendrick Lamar's.
you gonna be one of them seven niggas when the Nas and Premier drop like, yo, it's not New York State of Mind. You can't do that, man.
No, first of all, that Define My Name shit is not like it's not.
But that's the problem. Why do you have to highlight that? We know it's not that.
It's not that. Hold on. First of all, the record need to have staying power. I like Squabble Up. How about this? Let's take it a notch down. Is Squabble Up even backseat freestyle?
It doesn't have to be cool.
I'm not asking. I'm not.
You missing the point.
First of all, Sean AG get to deal with you all the time. Nobody really asks. I'm saying
you stuck in 2012, my G. Like
I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about quality of records. Because no. If they're saying I'm saying he lost his creative juice, then I'm going to point out the stuff on Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn to show that creatively there has been some sort of drop off. Squabble Up is one of the best records of this album, right?
Yeah.
It's not in my top 5.
I don't know. It's a slapper, but I don't know if it's one of the best. A slap don't gotta be.
I got it.
That's not intended to be creative though, Coop. It's a bop. It's a vibe.
I'm talking about the level in which he operates in terms of the consistency that he makes these quality records.
And picking that particular sample to make a West Coast slapper is
crazy. It's crazy.
Conceptually and creatively, that's part of the package too. Pause.
Thank you. You get Debbie Dale from Brooklyn sample to make it, and it's a West Coast bop, and it's a b-boy sin. You a producer. You have a producer's ear. So
never in my life would I hear that sample would be like, yo, I'm gonna make a sample.
And what's crazy, I like the genius behind teasing that on the Not Like Us video, and it cuts off right before the sample jumps in. So when you hear the sample in real time, you're like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean?
You play it through. Come on, it's a b-boy record that has a West Coast bop. How can you even do that? Like honestly, as a curator, as someone who makes music, how can you think about a b-boy centric record? That's record came out in '83.
Is it b-boy one of the core elements? He's still providing culture, even if he's not giving you the commentary. He's delivering elements each time out.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk about how not all 5s are created equal, right?
Right.
Well, I only gave 3 songs of 5 on here. I'm bringing up Squabble Up because Squabble Up is actually one of the 3 songs I gave 5 to. It's just not the same type of 5 from him. Creatively, it is not the same all-time great genius level. It's great for this time. When I'm saying, is it better? When I'm asking Sean and AG, yo, do y'all think Freddie album's still better? Well, that's because that's the only album that I've heard this year that I can think of off the top of my head after listening to this album that truly competes with this album. So I'm not saying that he's not there. I literally just said before y'all jumped on, 85% of him is better than 95%. Just don't tell me it's 100 anymore. I'm cool with the 85. And if he's going to make albums like this for the rest of whatever his career is, oh no, he is going to go down top 10, top 5, because even doing this at this stage in the game is hard to do. I'd like to see him do it more often because this is album number what? On year number
cool.
what?
Cool. Let me ask you something. Before
album number what? On year number what? That's album number 6 on year number what?
I got a question for you, Cool. Tell the truth here. Tell the truth. How much of this is you still punishing him for that 5-year hiatus? Because I remember you when you was in the town portal across the street, you used to get on his ass about that break, and I feel like you still ain't let that go.
No,
big D energy.
Facts. Because I feel like a part of you feels like he had it in 2018. To me, 2024 Kenny and 2018 Kenny ain't that much different as far as his position in the space, the kind of records he was making, He had Damn. He followed that with the Black Panther soundtrack. Then he left us, and I feel like you've been upset with him ever since then.
Well,
You're
let me
not being truthful here.
let me ask y'all at the rap roundtable this, because we and Coop had a whole argument on this show. Like, as high as he hold Rakim, Rakim took the same amount of years off as a break and came back with the 18th letter.
Let's talk about it.
No.
And the 18th letter is not like that.
Career than Rakim. Don't even do that. Kenny already higher all time.
First of all, Jar, I'm gonna tell you what. First of all, that's an excellent question to ask me. Like, real shit. That's an excellent question. AG, just real quick, I'm gonna work in reverse order. AG, my whole thing with the difference between the breaks is when Rakim left. Rakim was considered by the masses to be the greatest MC of all time when he left. It was not like that when Kendrick left, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe greatest for his generation, but not for this era. Jar, when you asked me that,
that's a little tough because it was hip hop was what 10, 15 years old at the time. It's 50 now. So like,
no, Rakim's degree.
But when he came back, it was a steep decline and kept declining.
Rakim's degree of difficulty is easier than Kendrick's in terms of the comeback because not as much hip hop had existed.
Right.
That's fair.
We had less to go off of, thereby making his comeback easier to enjoy than Kendrick's. We had so many more classics by the time Kendrick took a break as opposed to when Rakim took a break. When Rakim took a break, we maybe had like 15 all-time classic albums. You know what I'm saying? 15 to 20 albums that was like all-time. But when Kendrick took a break, we had 100 of them. So I'm going to give Kendrick that. Jar, if you want to know what, you're right. I do hold it against him. And you want to know why I hold it against him is because I feel like he actually was on a trajectory to be arguably the greatest MC of all time. And I do feel like he ruined that when he did take that break. There was no reason whatsoever to take that break. Nobody had ever popped like that. No, like Nas.
Right.
Hold on. Nas, Jay, Big, Pop. None of them have a 3 album of the year run.
All I gotta say is life happens, Coop. I mean,
you know what?
I dig that. I started off this show talking about how life happens to me. You know how many people care when it comes to entertainment about life happening to you?
Nobody.
Not a goddamn person. They just want the entertainment. As a matter of fact, they want what happened to you to come out faster when they know it's happening to you, not 5 years. So, Jarv, I did kind of take it personally in the hip-hop level because I didn't think that we would see somebody from the era that he existed in be even capable of challenging Big and Nas and Pac and Jay. And when he left after Damn, he was the only person that I thought could do it. It did stick me somewhere and be like, the nerve of this motherfucker. Like, he had it the way nobody had it before he could have took it, and he left. And then he came back and dropped that album, and the album is really what pissed me off, Jarv. Because if you're going to take a break and then drop that, and I still think that right next to The Dogfather by Snoop, it's the worst album a superstar rapper has ever dropped. Like, that's how little I think of that album. Like, I put it next to The Dogfather and Prince of Darkness by Kane. It's one of those albums to me.
That's insane.
That's tough. You know what? I see the vision. I can understand that because I was one of those who got on Kenny for taking that break. But you know what? As life happens and we go through our emotions and changes happen, and you get to understand like how an artist goes about their craft. He's not just a rapper who can write bars. You know, I think like some of us, because a lot of our hip hop primes, age-wise, we got to witness guys be very prolific in our teens and early 20s. We seen what Hove did, and I think that kind of broke the scale. We saw what Weezy did. We saw what the T.I.s did. These guys were active outside. I think that when you put a lot of emotion and passion into your art form, sometimes you can't just write bars. And I think that's what happened to Kenny.
So hold on. What you just say? You said hold on. What you just say, Jar? You said when you put all those passion into your bars, sometimes you can't write. That's that creative juice that I'm talking about, Jar. You're not saying anything different than I just said. You're just saying it in a more affectionate
I'm saying that the reality is when you have an artist like Kenny who puts a certain type of energy into the craft, he can't just make music. Kenny could have probably gave us albums mad times just for the business aspect of it.
Right.
But think about the album he gave us. Even if I don't like Mr. Morale, and I don't, it's on record. Look at that. He gave us a therapy album, bro. He was fucked up.
Jar, let me ask you something.
I think that album being the first album that he drops after taking that 5-year break explains the 5-year break. I'm on record saying that album is brilliant to me. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That album is brilliant front to back.
My son told me today he liked the album better than the new one. I was like, wait, what?
That's crazy.
Bro,
hold on.
Mr. Morale is incredible. Right, the writing wise, musically, conceptually. You know what I mean? And
The
the fact
writing is
that he,
exceptional. The writing.
The fact that that was the theme for the album after the 5-year break explains the 5-year break. You know what I mean? So I feel like people would understand that at some point.
Facts. But even if you feel like Coop does, this current album is a palate cleanser. So I don't see the problem.
Right. And that's my other problem with Coop right now. It's like, because he's saying that creatively he don't got it no more. So let's pull that thread. Let's pull that thread though. Let's say he's not as creatively inclined as he was before. You know what I mean? Let's say he's not he doesn't have the level of creativity that he's still creatively inclined, but not at the level as he was before. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's intentional. I'm not saying that. I think it's intentional.
It's not intentional. How about this? How about this? Let's go back to Jar's point, Sin, right quick, because I hear what you're saying. Let's go back to the break right quick. I equate the break to like when Ali went to war, when Ted Williams went to war. It's like, no, he just gave up 4 or 5 years of his prime. Why would you give up 4 or 5 years of your prime? Like those guys, for different reasons, one to serve his country, one to fight against the injustices systemically of his country, chose not to fight. They weren't the same. Like, even though Ali's the greatest, he's not the same guy after the war. Like, that guy has to be more of a tactician, a thinker, a mental game. The guy before the war was just gonna come out and whoop your ass in about 5, 6, 7 rounds. Like,
but to Sin's point, he explained why he gave up that prime. It's in the album.
But he just came out. It just whipped ass. It got him out of there early.
He did. He did.
You want to know what? That's fair. He did come back and whoop ass this year. But that's like, but look at it. Okay, so look at it like this. In the last 10 years, am I wrong for saying that there's been a drop off? You think I'm wrong?
What, cool.
Last 10 years? I don't think so.
It's in the music, because I think that's why you got to go back and listen to Man at the Garden, because it's right there. Like, he's saying, with all the criticism and stuff, he deserves it all. Like, everything he's got, he's earned it the right way. You know what I'm saying? It's in the music.
I'm not saying he hasn't earned it. I'm saying this stuff is great as his greatest stuff.
He hasn't earned it the way you want him to earn it.
No, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with how I want him to earn it. It has to do with the music. No, it's always about the music at the end of the day. I don't want this to become a situation where it becomes about me and how I feel. No, it's about the music and what I hear. What I hear is, you want to know? Okay, so let's keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what. How about this? And this is what I mean about it creatively not being the same. It's like, oh no, the guy that made Beef on KD3 is like, oh no, that guy all-time great. That is not the nigga that made I Gave You Power.
That's fair. And
there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna call it when I see it. So let's go ahead and call it about the guy that I got at the top of my list.
See, that's the problem though, because I've never heard you say anything negative about KD3 or any of the KD series. Honestly, like
no,
he has said that. I can co-sign. He said stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when you getting compared to yourself, though, Coop, that's when you reach GOAT contention status. When you're not getting compared to the field anymore, and you getting compared to your former self. So that's GOAT contention.
Talking about how hard I am on him, am I not? If I am judging him by the standards by which I think he is, because I did write an article once upon a time after he released Damn, giving him top 10 consideration at this as presently constituted. I do not know 15 MCs all time greater than Kendrick Lamar. That would put him in the 1%, less than 1% of the billions of people who have ever rapped. I just don't have him at like 4, 5, 6, 7 like some other people do. I'm like,
but you acted like I was crazy for putting him on my top 10 though.
No, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
But that's the thing though.
But hold on. Let me finish.
Oh,
if you want to say that today, that is more palatable to me today after this battle, because that does check a big box this year that was not in his repertoire. He is not battle tested until this year. Is that fair?
Yep.
He won this battle, and he won this battle for the most part. Even though I picked the other guy, he won this battle in glowing fashion for the most part.
It was closer
Like,
than most people give credit for, though.
It wasn't just a win. It wasn't just a win.
He got him out of there.
It was a victory that deserved a victory lap. It ain't too often you have a victory like that. I'm gonna check that box for him. This album is a dope ass album for this year. It's a top 5 album. I'm gonna give him that. So if you want to have a top 10 conversation, when I have him firmly somewhere between 10 to 15 without this project, that's fine to do today. I'm saying prior to it, don't tell me that shit. And I literally have been saying, and AG, like, shame on you for not knowing this. I literally been saying, no, let's wait and see what the next project sounds like. Well, this is the next project. We can talk.
You said that. You said that.
Hold on, cool. Here's the thing, and I'm hearing what you.
Hold on, real quick, John. Real quick. Glory is a reason to talk about his top 10 status.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I love Squabble Up. It is one of my 5 favorite songs. No, that's a reason to talk about his top 10 status. Like those records, like when he did hit the mark on here, and the album is consistent enough. The production is the weakest part of this album to me. I'm not going to hold that against him. Even though he did the beat selection, obviously, the repetitiveness of some of the beats not in love with. But as far as he is concerned as an MC and as far as the execution overall, if you want to have a top 10 conversation now, we can. The only problem is that the guy
on the scale.
Hold on, the guy that I have at number 10 just dropped the album the same day as him. That's Ice Cube. Look at how long Ice Cube's been doing this shit. And still has a better catalog. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to have a conversation.
The album wasn't good.
Okay, because it's like,
wait. Ice Cube has a better catalog overall
than Ice Cube.
Ice Cube has a better overall catalog than Kendrick Lamar. Is that
no way? No way.
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
I love Cube, and I can't say that.
My thing is like when I hear you say, "Oh, like he's not as good as," and the level is not, etc., etc. Sometimes we gotta, and you're a person again, because I watch you, Coop. You use a word, intention, a lot, or it's intentional. It's intentional.
Yes.
Kenny could have just came outside and gave us Mr. Morale again.
Right.
Straight creativity, supersonics, a lot of dark sounding elements, etc. He could have just done it again, right? But there's something to be said as an artist, and again, I'm the Jay-Z fan here. Part of what I loved about Jay was like he was aware of what was going on in New York. Even if he was a nationwide act, he knew what the temperature was in the city, and he approached his music in a way that reflected what was happening in the city.
Okay.
To your point, Kenny never did that for LA.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But then in a situation that comes about with the Canadian, it's saying I get more love in the city than you. When Kenny is 10 toes down in LA, even if he don't make the Sonics to represent his relationships, he's like, oh, if you want to play that game, again, Coop, he's a lot like you. If you want to play that game, you want to play the Cali game, at any point, because I'm that good, I can wake up and make a Cali slapper right now. And that's what he did. He didn't need to give you dynamic beat selection. He made he covered LA. Shit. This shit for Oakland. Like Peekaboo's an Oakland record.
It is.
Icy Records, man. He leaned into that sound.
And to expand on that thought, my problem with some of the things that Coop was saying and a lot of Kendrick's detractors is that y'all not gonna like him either. Like y'all always gonna find something to nitpick at, because it's like if he's on his self-righteous, super conscious shit, y'all not gonna like that. You're gonna be like, oh, why is he talking like, from this self-righteous, high horse or whatever. Like that's gonna rub you the wrong way, right? But yeah, and then y'all be saying like, yo, he should really do something more for the people and make something more palatable. And that's what he does with this album. And y'all find something to nitpick about that too. So it's like, bro's never gonna win with y'all.
Hold on. He's gonna get nitpicked about his greatness though, Sin. I do that with everybody.
But Coop, that's the same thing that we get pissed off about when we nitpick Nas.
Yes. Thank you. And this is the point I was. Oh, go ahead, Sean. My fault. Go ahead, Sean.
Hold on. But I nitpick him too. I've been the one up here saying all year. I'm like, man,
that's the thing.
Nas Preem out and dropping, nigga.
But if a non-Nas fan has that same energy in the direction of Nas, the knobs are out.
Hold on. How about this though? Hold on.
I'm like, yo, get behind me. Let's go.
Yes. So can I tell you something I don't like about all of this? A lot of my takes come from the perspective of being a fan of his early on. I was in Cali when Section 80 dropped. Like on the humble, like within 60 days of it dropping. No, I was in Cali when it dropped. Like, I can remember the feeling. I can remember the buzz. I can remember when he came to Atlanta to perform at the Tabernacle before Good Kid, Mad City even came out, before Poetic Justice dropped. And I looked at my boss with a straight face and said, I'm going to see Kendrick tonight. Leaving your ass right here. It's like, who is that? I said, don't worry about it. He got next. So I've been around. And so I'm really more speaking from the perspective of somebody that was there. Like when he was making records like She Needs Me, and it was getting played like when MTV actually still played videos like that. I remember those times. I remember that guy. That's the guy that I'm drawn to. And so if you really want to know the truth, the guy that exists on To Pimp a Butterfly Sincere, like that socially conscious, aware guy, I can't stand that nigga. The nigga on here that's doing the West Coast boogie shit,
that's evolving.
Well, I don't mind the evolution.
And that's what we talk about on Hard Part 6.
Hold on. I think To Pimp a Butterfly is a classic. You asking me if I like that guy? The answer is no. You asking me if I like the music? Sometimes. Ask me if I think it's great. Well, yeah, because I understand what it means and what it represents and where he took it with the album. Is it my shit? No. That's why I've been asking him to make some Cali shit, which is actually my point. Well, this album is good because it actually satisfies people like me.
Right.
Like this is like the versions of him that exist on here. Oh no, give me this guy is actually my point. Don't give me the guy on Mr. Morale. Don't give me the guy on To Pimp a Butterfly.
Right.
Give me the guy from Section 80.
So you should be content with this project.
Right. Well, and to your point, Sin, because hold on one second. Sin brought up a great point with the sound of self-righteous, or like, you know what I'm saying, when he's in that bag of conceptual versus this album, which is more like just vibes and, you know, dope sonics and leaning into the West Coast. Because I was going to ask this earlier, and you said, Sin, that was another great point, that he talked about this on evolving past like the Black hippie stuff, you know what I'm saying, himself as an artist. I think that's the reason why songs like Watch the Party Die didn't make the cut. Because that's more in the vein of that guy, you know, who makes the, you know what I'm saying, the preachy, self-righteous songs or whatever. That song caused a lot of waves in the industry, but he didn't put it on, just like we talked about, he didn't put the diss tracks on this record. He didn't put Watch the Party Die on this record because that leans more into that aesthetic. He went for a totally different aesthetic with this record, and that's what I appreciate.
Hey, can I say something right quick? Because I just had an epiphany about something, Jarv. I see you, Jarv. It's like, take next. You don't get to take everybody with you all the time. I'm bringing up She Needs Me. I'm bringing up Section 80. I'm bringing up Good Kid, Mad City. It's because, oh no, I'm a early on fan. Everybody doesn't come with you all the time for the full journey, though. And sometimes people have critiques along the way. Do y'all, like, let's bring it back to somebody legendary from the West who just dropped the album. Do y'all remember how some people responded when Ice Cube made We Be Clubbing?
Right.
Yeah.
I remember. I was there.
I like that song though, but
I didn't too, but I remember the backlash.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, I still think that record's a banger, and I love that record. I'm one of the people that came with Cube. You feel? And
it was for the Player Club soundtrack. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was appropriate.
Also for the longevity of his career, AG, that social commentary that he was given, like with America's Most Wants with 3Ks in 90, 91, that's not the climate in 95, 96.
Right.
He had to adjust to the times. Everybody doesn't come with you. So some of my squabbles with Kendrick, pun intended, is about me being one of those people that's like, oh no, I prefer the former version more than the latter. I do see more of the former version of this album. That makes me a bigger fan of this album. I said I gave it 3 5s and 3 4.5s out of 12 records. That means I think half of this album is fucking brilliant for the most part.
But I guess my question is, if you have those feelings that you just spoke about To Pimp a Butterfly and about Mr. Morale, why is your tone not happier about this project? You're like, what I was hearing before was, oh, he doesn't have the creative prowess that he had with a Mr. Morale or a To Pimp a Butterfly or a Damn. You know what I mean? So it's like you're still finding something.
No, hold on.
He's fighting the fans instead of, you know, he's fighting
Kendrick. Finding something to shit on him about.
No.
I don't think he's shitting on Kendrick. I think he's trying to right the ship from the fans over exaggerating Kendrick's greatness. So Coop feels like it's on his shoulders to like swing the pendulum far in the other direction to bring a balance.
So Sin, here's where you and I defer. The only thing that I like about Mr. Morale is the writing. I think the rest of it is no good. I think To Pimp a Butterfly, even though it's not the type of hip hop that I normally listen to, I think that album is a masterclass on a few levels about a few things. And what I'm saying is that the guy that made To Pimp a Butterfly can't make a masterclass of an album like that anymore. And Mr. Morale is the proof to that for me. And so once I know that you can't execute that again, it's like, well, no, give me this instead. That's why I've been asking for the West Coast shit. If this is the level that he exists at, I actually think that this is a 4.25, guys.
Do you think that he came close to executing Damn? Because I think Damn is his most versatile record. It's my son's favorite record by him. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he's 17. And I think this is another easy listening, versatile record in the vein of Damn. I don't think it's as good, but to me, it accomplishes the same thing.
So I put this album rating-wise closer to Section 80 because I think Damn is better, because even though this album does a lot of the same things as Damn has more classic songs, in my opinion. I do think Duckworth is better than Gloria.
That's my favorite Kendrick song.
I do think Love is better than Luther. You know what I'm saying? I think Element and Feel rhyme-wise is a level that doesn't get touched on this album outside of maybe that third verse or Reincarnated. I'm not a big fan of Fear like everybody else, but it is one of the better joints on there. So I would put this under Damn somewhere right next to Section 80. And Section 80 was something where it's like, well, you saw flashes of the brilliance that was to come. And I'm just saying, I think we're on the other side of the spectrum. Like, we got the brilliance in spades with Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. No matter which album's your favorite, no matter how you feel about it, those albums hit the mark consistently, song-wise, theme-wise, cultural-wise, impact-wise. This album's closer to Section 80 in the fact that it's like, oh no, you can see that the guy is the shit, but it is more the flashes of the talent and spurts of it than it being as consistently great as those three projects. Mr. Morale is beneath all of them, in my opinion.
Okay, well, this is not just a question for you, Coop. It's a question for everybody. So if, with the exception of Sin, if we're all in agreement that Mr. Morale is his worst effort, does Kendrick, with this album included, have a top 10 discography of all time? I say yes.
No, he's got 6 albums. How can you say that?
No. Anybody else want to answer?
If you think about Section 80, Good Kid, even if I don't like To Pimp a Butterfly for my own preference purposes,
I'm with you, Dor.
It's up there. It's in the lexicon of rap. We gotta call it what it is. Mm-hmm. Then you come back with Damn, which was a monster. It was what it was. You still have, was it Untitled, that joint that everyone
Untitled,
loves?
Unmastered.
All right. You come back with Mr. Morale. So again, a 3.5 from Kenny. It's a 5 for thousands of other rappers.
Ooh. So I have a question. I actually have a few questions because I like to look at this album from a few perspectives. The way that I rated this album from the perspective of him being an all-time great MC, has in a top 15 to 20 MC all time, in my opinion. Actually, I'm sorry, a top 10 to 15 MC all time. I want to be careful about what I'm saying. Because when we had this talk earlier this year, after the battle was settled, the conversation was, oh, well, Cooper, where do you have him? It's like, oh, no, I can slide him comfortably somewhere between 10 to 15. I'm just partial to guys like Ghostface, Scarface, and Cube, and I still think that all of those guys have better catalogs than him. And that's my whole thing about it.
I think what we saw is with the Butterfly.
Hold on, Jar, real quick. The 5-year break is about passing Scarface and Ice Cube and Ghostface, like those guys. If he doesn't take the break, I think I have him ahead of those guys, and he is somewhere like 5, 6, 7.
I think he's on his way. I think what we saw with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was him getting back in shape. You know, you take a 5-year gap. The Sonics changed. When he left in 2017, 2018, what rap sounded like didn't sound like that anymore. And he has certain elements, whether Sin wants to agree or not, there were certain elements of the previous sound that he was trying to bring in with what was happening when that album dropped. I think he's fully entrenched in hip-hop right now, especially in his city. I think he's fully back in shape. I think the best thing that happened to him was, one, us as a culture mostly saying this album ain't it. And then people getting comfortable, like Cole jumping out the window to say this album ain't it. than Aubrey telling him to drop. Aubrey was playing in his face. That is the true story of this battle, was that Aubrey did not take Kenny seriously.
Exactly.
And he found out.
He
right?
misjudged. Absolutely.
Now
Same thing
he's back
happened
in
to Jay.
shape.
Same thing happened to Jay.
All right. But I think Kenny is back in shape now. I think this project right here is the perfect situation of a rapper who got his legs back under him. He understands what's expected of him. He has
You
a
wanna know
city
what?
on his back. And I think even the next project, I think whatever he gives us next is going to be the conversation where we're like, oh shit, this is the album. I think, you know how we all, you saw what KD3 did to us in unison?
Yeah.
I think the next album, that's going to be the one where we're like, oh, he's wilding.
But it looks like it's right around the corner because he did that teaser with that song that's not even on here. Like,
he's in shape now. He wasn't in shape before, but he's back in shape now.
Yes.
do y'all agree? I don't know if y'all was on here in the chat with the point I made earlier. What J. Cole did on Might Delete Later lyrically was better than what Kendrick's doing here, but this album is overall better.
Right. There it is.
If that makes sense.
There it is.
Well, yeah,
So,
because
hold on.
Cole can't make these records. That's the
Right.
thing. You know what I mean? Like there's levels. There's
That's
levels
fair.
to the
The feeling of the records, like big.
like the catalog of styles that you can pull from. You know what I mean? Cole got maybe 2, 3 styles. You know what I mean? Kenny will have 5, 6, 7 styles. You know what I mean? He's showcasing wild styles on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's got more styles, and I don't know, Sin, if you heard some of my late notes. Like I don't know what part y'all heard, but I read like my notes on Glory, and I read that like vocally I was super impressed with him on this entire performance outside of reincarnating. Like vocally, sometimes I don't always agree with some of the stuff that he does and tries. I feel like he hit the mark vocally on this album. Style-wise, he's always had Cole beat. Can I ask you all something? And I know this because I'm from Charlotte. My family's from Charlotte, even though I was raised mostly in Atlanta, and I obviously spent time in Charlotte as well. Do you think Kenny's ability to get in multiple bags has something to do that he comes from a hip hop culture and climate from Compton, California, that allows him to jump in a bag like this? Like I say this respectfully about my home state, North Carolina doesn't have much of a bag. You want North Carolina has a bunch of niggas from Queens and Brooklyn that moved to North Carolina and made it kind of East Coastish. You know what I'm saying? I say that from knowing it well. Does Cole suffer from where he comes from as opposed to Kendrick in terms of being able to craft out a style? Because I've been asking to make Kendrick to make a West Coast album like this because I don't feel like he's made one since Good Kid, Mad City, but also because I've been to Cali. I know what the climate sounds like. I like what the climate sounds like. I like the shit that they ride to. I feel that shit. I always have. And so is Cole suffer from that? Like stylistically, is he losing some of this because of where he's from?
No, I think he's just not a killer.
Okay.
We gotta stop finding qualifiers. He's not a killer. Heart don't got region. Either it's in you or it's not in you.
Well, no, I think what Coop is asking more so is like the rhyme styles.
No, he spent mad time in New York. He was
the variety of styles, and I think that I don't know. I think I might agree with Coop on that point.
I mean, possibly.
It's hard to agree with Coop, ain't it? Like,
it's not even. I don't think
First of all, that's the first time Sin's
like a nigga twisting your arm and shit when you agree.
I don't think that you.
Let's timestamp it. Y'all got to timestamp it.
I am timestamping that, Sin. That's the first time Sin's ever said that.
Yeah.
Hey, I just feel like he don't need to have multiple bags. If you're good at what you do, you don't need to be that much dexterous.
We can't say that because we value big. We value big way too much for you to say that.
Hear me out. Because at the point of Might Delete Later, the conversation surrounding J. Cole was where exactly he landed as far as 1, 2, or 3. And in a lot of conversations at the moment of, he was number 1. And he didn't do that with a bunch of bags. He did it doing what he did. If he was hitting you with elbow pull-ups, it was elbow pull-up from the left side, elbow pull-up from the right side.
He stayed in his wheelhouse.
If
I'm feeling good, I'm gonna shoot the 3. Right?
But that's the thing. That's the difference between like a Kobe and a Tim Duncan.
What I'm saying is,
Jarv, hold on. I got something for you. Here's why I'm wildly fair about all this. When you're talking about Cole ascending to that position, I have been sitting in here in this chair saying, nah, this mission is not complete until you drop an album that reflects all these verses. I've been hard.
It don't matter now. He gave up his position
on this show all year. I'm like, this nigga better make
that's what I was trying to get to, Adriel.
Like, I know what you look like in 16, 24, and 32.
But Cole
What
didn't
does your
lose his
project
spot
look
because
like?
he didn't have a bag. He lost his spot because he had no heart, bro.
He gave it up, Coop. If he dropped Cuban links,
No,
it don't matter.
No, listen to what
Y'all
I'm
know
saying.
how I feel about. I
No,
get worked up
listen
about
to
Cole.
what I'm saying. No, I think y'all are missing what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm being hard on Kenny. It's like, well, I've been hard on Cole too, because while everybody been running around saying he's the hardest nigga, he's the best nigga, I've been the nigga sitting over here saying, where is the fucking album that reflects all of this lyrical talent everybody is glorifying? Because doing it in 16, 24, and 32 and 48 is fucking fine.
You don't think
do it for
Mike
12?
was a step towards that?
No, because this shit sounds better. Even for the critiques that I'm giving,
He's talking about the fall off.
It's clear. Even the
But
fall
I feel like
off.
Mike Delete later was getting towards the fall off. I think he was.
But I don't care how good the fall off is. He's not going to leapfrog Drake or Kendrick at this point.
Here's the problem. GNX is probably Kendrick's 4th or 5th best album, and it's better than everything that Cole has made, in my opinion, except for Born Center and Forest Hills Drive. And that's the fucking problem. Am I right about that? Can we agree on that that's the real fucking problem here?
Yeah. Yo, Sin, I want to hear where you rank these albums from Kendrick. You're the biggest Kendrick fan here. Where would you put GNX in his discography?
For that, y'all will have to tune in tomorrow. I'm sure we're gonna continue talking about this on our live. And I gotta think on it a little bit, a little bit harder, pause. But tune in tomorrow.
Sin, where do you have Kendrick all time? Where is he for you?
Now pretty easily top 5 for me.
Top 5 what?
Top 5.
Hold on.
I got him at 10 solid.
Who's ahead of him in your opinion?
Biggie, Nas, Jay, and who's the 4th person?
Rakim?
No.
Ghost, Pop.
Biggie, Nas, Jay.
Scarface?
You sure?
Damn,
Ghost
how did I just forget my top 5?
Because I feel like
who do I have? Okay, no, hold on. All right. So me personally, it's Big, Nas, Jay, Common,
Tom,
and Kendrick.
So you got Big as the GOAT?
Hold on.
I don't know if it's tough. It's tough.
He's the best MC. I get what you're saying, Sin. He's the best MC we've all heard in a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So in my personal top 5, I got Common.
This guy loves Common, bro. It's crazy.
I had Common and Ghostface in my top 5.
Okay, Sin. So the Auditorium or GNX?
Well, here's the thing.
GNX.
I was talking.
Oh, hey, hold on. Answer that question, Sin.
Hold on. I'll get there. But I've been talking to these fellas all year about somebody's gonna have to, like, since Kendrick has been running 2024, somebody will have to move out of my top 5, and it was gonna be Common or Ghostface. And based on the albums drop this year, it had to be Ghostface, and it hurt me. It hurt me, like, you know what I mean? Like Wesley Snipes.
Sean shed a tear on that.
Hold on. Sin.
I had to move him out. I'm sorry.
Sin, you got Com at 4. I love Com. I have Kendrick ahead of Common. Matter of fact, when I did my list earlier this year, I slid Kendrick and Common right next to each other, but like outside of the 10.
Common to me just embodies that, like bars, lyricism, just the b-boy energy, battles. You know what I mean? He went at it with Q. You know what I mean?
No, he beat Q.
And he beat Q. And he went at it with Drake. You know what I mean? And that,
he lost that
one. Yeah. Well,
what are your 5 favorite Common albums? Yeah. What are Common's 5 best albums to you in order?
B and Like Water for Chocolate.
1 and 2.
Those can interchange 1 and 2. 1A, 1B. Fond and Forever.
Big fan. That's my number 3.
What's this one? One Day It'll All Make Sense.
That's
and of course,
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Yeah. I got the same 5.
Yeah, we got the same 5.
But you didn't answer the question: Auditorium or GNX? What do you got?
Y'all gonna have to tune into
Nah, don't do that because you know you ain't answering that question on your line.
Look, GNX
the
just dropped.
auditorium's
Listen,
boring.
GNX just dropped 2 days ago, bro. I can't answer that yet.
Let me tell y'all something.
I gotta live with it. I gotta live with
Never
it.
get Sid to say something wrong about Kendrick Lamar, even if it's true.
I gotta live with it.
Okay?
Right? No, if I'm being honest, right now, it's still the auditorium.
There you go.
GNX just came out 2 days ago, but let me live with it for a little bit.
You trying to plug people over to your live, knowing you ain't gonna say shit about Common tomorrow.
He's from Brooklyn, right? He's like, it's from Manhattan.
I asked that question, not Jarv. You know Jarv ain't gonna bring up Common tomorrow.
I mean,
he's from Harlem.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that makes sense.
I mean, that was going to be the topic tomorrow.
GNX
but like
not touching the auditorium, bro.
Year end, we are going to be talking about albums of the year.
Okay.
Next month.
Kenny ain't gonna be in that list for me.
Jarv hold his feet to the fire. Pause, like you know, what I'm saying to answer that question.
No, man. Have y'all rated this album? Because y'all went live yesterday. I started catching some of the episodes.
That was a pretty rough reaction.
Yeah, more of a reaction than a rating, you know.
Okay. I didn't get
too
far.
Get more into like breaking it down, but I'll tell y'all right now off the rip. Spoiler, it ain't gonna be on my album of the year list. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's really good. But album of the year.
How come when I say it's good, it's not okay? But when you say it's good,
because you sound like a hater, Coop.
That's New York bias bullshit.
Yeah, your tone. I don't like your tone when you say it.
I don't like none of y'all.
I don't like your tone.
Do the other fellas like it? Does Deanie and Mace like it?
Yeah. Universally, we all rock with the album. I personally. I got Schoolboy still as my album of the year. I think that Gibbs has made big leaps with his project. I think Stabbed and Shot 2 is up there for me as well. That's the New York bias in me. I feel like more people need to listen to Stabbed and Shot 2. But GNX is up there, but I got albums ahead of it.
I got Gibbs and Rhapsody ahead of this Kendrick personally.
You got the Future Metro album, We Don't Trust You, ahead of this album?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
But you got Blue Lips ahead?
Love Blue Lips.
He loves.
I got Blue Lips.
Cali is running this year, Coop. They really are.
I think Blue Lips is jarring for some people, but because I've been following Schoolboy, I think this was the natural progression for his career, bro. I think this album is a sonical adventure.
Look, let's call it what it is. Jarv is a low key closeted Schoolboy Q stand.
No, Q's my favorite guy.
He can't do no wrong.
No. Q's my favorite guy from the crew. I just don't think it's as good as Crash Talk, Blank Face, or Oxymoron.
Oh, it clears Crash Talk. Clears.
I probably like it better than Crash Talk.
Okay, so
I like how it was highlighted on Hard Part 6 about Q not even wanting to rap at first. That was
It was a whole hold on. Who decided to rap? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, real quick. Crash Talk got recorded. Crash Talk got recorded in Atlanta. It has an Atlanta sound, so I can see why I might gravitate to it more than y'all do. Right, that's how Lil Baby ended up on Water and all that.
I got a lot of. I love T.I. I love Future. Atlanta. I don't have no issues with Atlanta. I like to poke the bear when Atlanta get to talking about New York. The New Yorker got to talk about Atlanta. That's all.
Yo, Coop, you still got Gorilla #1 right now too.
First of all, you need to watch your tone. Stop bringing up that Glow shit. And I like Glow's album. I'm not changing my take on that, Sean. It's a good album. It's a Memphis
album of the year.
It's a Memphis album of the year. The Memphis album. I did not say it was album of the year.
You said it was a contender.
You said it was a contender.
It was a contender at the time because it's.
Who else is in the ring for Memphis? Who else dropped fire from Memphis that could be on that caliber?
Thank you. That was my whole point. This is the best album you're gonna get out of Memphis. She sounds Memphis.
A lot though.
Memphis part of no. You gonna respect Memphis in this climate, man.
You didn't say this is the best album out of Memphis. You said this is a contender for album of the year.
No, I did not.
Yeah, whenever Coop say something, it sounds like some hater shit. Like he loves
tape.
That's from Harlem. That's why I'm like, yo, you sure you ain't go to Harlem, bro? You a Harlem nigga, Coop.
I do love Dame. I love Dame.
It was shit. It makes sense.
Makes sense. Checks out.
I love Dame.
Yeah. He basically said this is the best you're gonna get out of Memphis.
Actually, now I think about it, I love Dame. I love Big L. I love Cam. Mace. Yeah, Children of the Corn. This is my You want to know what? You never know. Yeah.
And there you go. It all
Kendrick might have had some bars for Cam and Mace on the album.
You're right. I used to run with all them bad boy niggas from Uptown, Robin, all his people and shit. They was
R.I.P. Robin.
Maybe some Uptown to
R.I.P.
it. Okay, we gonna tune in tomorrow to see how y'all are actually like rating the album. Y'all rating the album tomorrow? What are y'all doing tomorrow? Like, tell us.
We're gonna break it down, kind of similar to what you guys did today, as far as breaking it down. Really, now that we've had time to listen to it, because I done listened to it like 4 or 5 more times. Really, like, all right, let's parse the numbers now. Let's get our analytics going.
Yeah. Hold on, Jarv. Let me ask you something because you appear to be more on the critical side of this album, like me, even though you're saying that it's good.
Don't try to lump them in with you, Coop. Don't do that.
First of all, AG, nobody asked you. That's why this question is for Jarv.
Who tried to find allies?
No. Listen to what I'm about to say. The first time that I heard this album, I did not enjoy it, but I did find it to get more brilliant progressively with each listen. What do you all feel about that? Because by the time I got to the third listen, I was like, "Oh, okay, we got something here."
Kind of the same, and I'll get more into this conversation tomorrow probably, but after several listens, like now I know you have to know where an artist is going, and like on first listen, if you don't know exactly where he's going and he's not going to a place that you expect him to go, like it's a little jarring at first. But now when I know, this is what he's going for, this is the sound and the vibe and the energy he's going for, you know what I mean? And he's putting on for Cali. I consume it, but I consume it in a different way.
Here's what I'll say.
But hold on real quick, Jarv. But has somebody who critiques music, do you dock for that? So like for me, part of why I love Aquemini by Outkast is because I feel like they do a wonderful job on that album of immediately pulling you into their world and never letting you out.
Well, here's the thing, and again, y'all gonna hate this, but like that was me the first time I heard Mr. Morale. Like I was immediately in that world. I was immediately in whatever he was going through. I was immediately there, and the way that he gave you the journey through that, I was there for the entire ride.
Sin, I never thought I would say this. I want to hear Jarv talk.
It is. Like, why do you sanction that album, bro? Like I just don't understand.
I don't get it either. Actually, like Sin, we don't agree on a lot of shit.
If you've been to the live show, I was at the live show. It makes you appreciate that album more.
I have so much trouble understanding because I know that your ear is solid. Like I know you got a dope rap ear. I know you know your shit.
Yeah, but he's not to be trusted when Kendrick is the topic. I've been saying it for years now.
I think it was Kendrick's worst, but going to the live show made me appreciate the album more.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, the live sonics will change it. The energy, the emotions he puts into it, I could understand.
Nobody care about all that when you got to ride around to it in your car first, though.
Nah, it never passed the car test.
It's a therapy album. It's not meant to be played in the whip.
Hold on, real quick, and I don't want to harp on this.
Everything doesn't need a car test, and everything doesn't need.
Hold on,
for the clubs, you know what I mean?
Sin.
That's a couch album. It's a therapy album.
Hold on, Sin. I promise I'm gonna drop it after this. I was interviewing Chris the Glove Taylor when that album was out, and he was in Cali, in LA. I asked him if they were playing that album in LA. He was like, I haven't heard anything.
So to that point, Coop, everybody in Cali is playing GNX right now.
Exactly.
So
and that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying
I was
is,
right. So you're telling me I was right? Okay,
who's
great.
Who's going to play together in public? Who's
going to let Sin talk? Listen talk.
Who still plays We Cry Together right now?
Who's going to play? Who's going to play Worldwide Steppers in public? That's not a joint you play on the block. You don't play that in the car. You don't play that in the streets.
Come on, bro.
It doesn't. Everything doesn't have to be for the same place all the time.
I understand that.
There's stuff that can have a different place, and if it's not places that y'all be at or y'all want to go, then that's fine. You know what I mean? But if y'all don't allow y'all mind to go to where Kendrick went to on that album, that's not a you problem.
You can't. You don't get to judge people because they don't like a mid album. I'm not 3.5, bro.
I'm not saying I'm not judging.
3.5 is a fair rating.
But I feel like y'all judging me for liking it, and I'm just saying y'all.
We're judging you for not being an impartial judge.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with my being partial or impartial. That's not the issue. The issue is that I was on the wavelength of this album and y'all weren't, and y'all gonna take that as some type of
dismissiveness.
It's not dismissive.
I was on the wave, so you was on some mid shit. You was smoking Reggie. I beat that shit, nigga.
Yo, I gave it a 3.5 too, and my homie told me I was being way too generous. I was like,
"Hold on, Sin." So you got? I'm just understanding. Big Nas, J, Common, Kendrick, Ghostface. Where do you have Rakim, KRS-One, Cool G, Rap, and Kane? New York.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to toss it out.
Sim probably got Andre 3000 in there somewhere.
He got 3 sets above over them.
Are any of those guys in your top 10?
But Rakim is definitely in my top 10.
Okay.
Possibly G-Rap, but he wasn't as impactful as Rakim was.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of put him in this, on the spot
No, I'm
right
just
now. Like,
asking.
we're not talking about top 10s. I didn't have a list ready for you.
Okay. Crazy.
But yeah,
Who tried to get the spotlight off him? Said he making it hot for you.
Hold on.
It's a diversion.
AG, stop saying that when I ranked the album higher than you did. I gave it a 4.25.
Of course, you're gonna try to save yourself and say, matter of fact, I haven't gave my rating. It's higher than these guys. Like, come on, Coop.
No, I rated all the songs.
You rated it like you wanted it to be trash. Like, fuck, this song is good. Damn, this song is
Yep.
good too. God damn, this song is still good.
So I tell you what. When I got to track 3, when I got through with the third track, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to talk no shit about this album because these first 3 songs are bangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I felt.
And for the record, Coop, and for the record, Coop, you're on wax.
The Man in the Garden.
Hey, Coop. And for the record, you on wax at your formal place saying that Mr. Morale was a 4.
You did say it was.
It's on wax.
I said I'll give it a 4 about the writing. I said, but I don't feel like it's a 4. I said if I was rating it for me, I'd give it a 3. I remember what I said. So finish my comment if you're gonna recite me, sir.
A 4 is a 4.
Nice try.
He giving caveats.
No. Me and Mike decided on a 4. Go check the comments. I said for me personally, I said I think it's a 3. I remember what I said. Nice try though.
I don't know about that. We'll check it out.
Don't check the tape. I very vividly remember the words that came out of my mouth, unless you want to tell me you remember me better than me. 3.
Okay, we'll see. Hey, we can put some money up.
Yeah. You saying Mike Strong
on that. I got 500 on that. I got 500 on that right now. You taking the bet?
We can put some money on it. You gave it a 3 for your official rating.
500 now. 500 right now. Take a lead.
Nah, because you're going to try to get it on a caveat. You said it was a 3 for your official rating. That's what you said it was.
I said when me and Mike talked about it, I said for me personally, I think it's a 3. I said, but the writing is so supreme. I said, if you want to say that it's a 4, we can give it a 4. I said, I think it's a 3.
Okay.
All right.
But you gave it a 4. You agreed.
That's according to hip hop gave it a 4, sir. As you can tell. Not really what
Could be trying to get you on semantics and shit.
First of all, shout out to Jarvis for whooping according to hip hop's ass in the numbers. Okay.
That's nasty.
You don't care. I'm off papers tomorrow, baby. Let freedom ring, nigga.
Mad Max in the chat. He wear that jersey now, so he gonna go run tell that.
Trust me, we be seeing him going playing ball and scoring 3 points.
3 points. He think he dropping 40, but I digress. Max, I love you.
He might be drinking a 40. But that's
shout out to Max. Max came through with about 100 in super chat, so I'm good with Max.
Max get me tight, but I could never really talk too bad about it because he put his money where his mouth is. You know what I mean?
You want to know what? Matt Max is a supporter of the cause, and I will always give him credit for being a supporter of the cause of hip hop and supporting all of everything that we do independently without anybody else's help. So I will give him that. Now he don't know shit about rap, Jarv. He know way less than us.
Dang.
He don't know shit.
Well, listen, I'd rather him be a regular than that other guy who was crashing out. But y'all can get me to talking tonight. But that's
don't even do that. Don't even do that. You know,
what's so funny?
Crashed out.
I'm sorry, yo, Sid. We seen the clip. I gotta send it to you. It's mad funny. But this project right here, I think Kenny's in position to really make every person, including Coop, who question him, look real sideways about their 5 and maybe even their top 3s.
Can I tell you something? I am of some of the train of thought that you have, Jarv. I am afraid about what the next album will sound like if he will release it in some sort of reasonable time frame, as in the next 6 to 9 months. Because he's definitely in shape. He just won a battle. He just dropped a high-quality album that is one of the 5 best albums this year, in my opinion. So he is prime. It does make me have to stop. I'm going to have to look at the back end of my top 10 where Ghostface, Scarface, and Ice Cube reside and take a look if he drops a project that is comparable to this and or better, in my opinion. And like I said, if you want to have a conversation right now, I'll still take Ice Cube's early run over everything that he's done because he is responsible for Straight Outta Compton.
Ice Cube's early run over Kenny right now?
No. I'm talking overall.
Okay.
Classics for classics, I think is what you're saying.
Straight Outta Compton is more important than everything Kenny's made. Like, and some of that is some of that is about being there first, and I understand that. But Straight Outta Compton is more important. I think America's Most and Death Certificate are on par with Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. And I think Kill at Will is better than Damn. That's me personally.
I think GNX is going to be a very important album. I think it's still very early, but I think
No,
this
that's
is going to be a checkpoint album in the conversation in his career.
so GNX makes it conversational with Ice Cube is what I'm saying. It's like, I got Cube at 10, and if you're telling me he's shit looking like Cube's, and you know what I'm saying, but Ice Cube is also still dropping music, and even though his album is not as good as this GNX, it is a pretty good effort for somebody that's been in the game as long as he has.
Right.
Well, I told Sean I'm going to say this on there, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. But I just didn't want to draw certain comparisons or whatever. But take this with, just a slight grain of salt. Like I said, for me, this album, remember when Nas dropped the surprise Magic on Christmas Eve, and then on Ugly he said, KD3 on the way is just to feed the buzz. I really feel like that's the sentiment of this album. Like, let me get a surprise drop, feed the people, and then whatever comes next is going to be KD3-ish, if that makes sense.
Can I? First of all, I don't think that's happening, but I'm a hater according to UAG. But I do want to address something. I do not like some of the tone, and this is something I did dock a little bit. I do not like how he is trying to talk on here like he is some sort of underdog when he starts off this album. He's talking about only Nas congratulated me. It's like, first of all, nigga, I was there from the jump. People been congratulating you since you walked in the fucking door. Don't do that in year 15. Stop acting like people.
Even Jay has acted like an underdog at some point.
AG, let me finish, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
We know that everybody don't matter.
He needs to stop acting like people ain't
few
been
matters more than the
congratulating
many,
him for the last. No, he been getting congratulations and salutations for the last 15 years straight without a fucking break. He don't need to play no under. Nas the only person to congratulate. Stop that shit, nigga. That's like that bullshit, Lauren. You know what that is? That's like that shit Lauren kicked on nobody. I'm saying,
but don't sometimes we need to create.
We talk about you being late because you were entertained.
Like rivalries.
But that was a true statement, though. He was the only person who thanked him publicly.
Or to Jordan, and I took it personally. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like sometimes you got to create that edge for yourself. That's number one. And number two,
the LeBradford Smith
mentality. What was Jay doing on the Blueprint? You know what I mean?
Hold on.
He was acting like the underdog.
Hold on, Sin. I said in my notes when I was talking to AG about Man at the Garden, I said no. He has. I do not think he's the GOAT, but he has a competitive fire like he is the greatest of all time, and I do acknowledge that. And I put that in my notes, and I said it live tonight. So I'm not trying to take that away from him. He does have. I don't think he's the GOAT. I don't think he's top 5. He does have that level of competitive fervor and fire. And I think the battle that he won this year is the prime example of it in terms of his ability to showcase that. Because I never believed no boogeyman shit until he just did what he did. I'm like, boogeyman. I'm like, nigga, please. It's like you ain't never boogied on nobody. But he got that
because I gotta slide.
So maybe I'm not the one that shouldn't be trusted about Kendrick. Maybe it's y'all.
Well, I mean, I think you guys are equally.
I couldn't see it ahead of time.
Equally not trustable.
But I feel like
we can't trust you either, Stan.
When it comes to Kenny, that's
why I haven't been wrong about Kenny yet. So
Kenny does all the things we like.
You said Mr. Moran was good.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta see
I hear what you're saying, Jar. If he checks all the boxes, I got him at 10. I think he's like getting to the place where he's almost not even debatable in top 10 status, but I have him at 10, but I'm going to reevaluate my back half of that 10 because the only thing that holds him back is his voice for me. You know what I'm saying? But every other rapper on my list got a better voice.
The control let's go back to control as far as being an MC. Hear me out. As far as being an MC, coming out, saying I'm him, we love that type of shit.
Yes.
The BT freestyle where he called Aubrey out in the freestyle. He did the rapper thing. The 10 years of disses that they traded with one another. Kenny at every point in Kenny's career, whether I like his music or not, I have to acknowledge that he does the things that we like. So it's like now when he's deciding to really lean into the shit that we like, we want to start nitpicking how good he is. Like, nah, he been this. He been this guy.
Hold on, Jar. When you're saying he does the things that we like, can you just clarify that a little further? So
he checks all the boxes, cool.
Back in our day, when we had our Hoves and our Nas's and our State Props and our D Blocks and our dungeon families. We go out west to the death row homies. The energy, the competitive fervor has always been there. That's part of the reason we love this shit, right? And he's always had it. Why do you think we called him the boogeyman in the first place? Who used to come outside saying wild shit and nobody rapped back? Kenny.
I didn't buy into that until this battle, the whole boogeyman thing. I didn't buy into that.
Either, but I hear what you're saying. I'm
just saying, Cole don't do that. Aubrey don't do that. Aubrey will accept the challenge, but Aubrey don't shake the table.
How about this? My thing about the battle and the reason that I chose Drake, everything that you're saying is spot on, Jarv, except for one thing in my opinion. Drake has actually made more records like that than Kendrick. Even though Kendrick embodies and represents it for the culture more, but Drake's been the one that's been making the records like it, and that's why I picked him. Because think about this: prior to this album, 2 of the last 3 albums we got were really concept albums, and that's To Pimp a Butterfly and Mr. Morale with Damn in between.
But, I mean,
so that fervor that you're talking about, Drake has been representing
or a high-end steakhouse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drake is telling you he's McDonald's. And we accept that. Sometimes we want a double cheeseburger. But every now and again, niggas want some good steak.
Want a fillet of fish.
Niggas had a double Big Mac.
Hey,
the chicken Big Mac.
That's all I'm saying. And I felt if Drake had a chance.
Drake got a 3-peat from KFC this year is what he got.
And because to me, Drake rapped. Like I said it on our pod. I felt like he took as an opponent Pusha T more seriously than Kendrick as far as rapping.
The respect
I still don't understand why he took that approach.
No, he didn't.
Jarv,
how can you say that? Like, no, this okay. So when Sin is saying the same things that he's saying about Mr. Morale, Drake is my answer for why those things aren't true, because Drake was hearing the things getting said on Mr. Morale and was thinking to himself the same thing I was thinking, which is, man, I got this nigga faded on some rap shit, and I never thought that was going to happen.
All right, but he didn't rap that way. All right, so boom. In the same, because it's kind of crazy the similarities. In the same scenario with Nas and Jay, where Jay thought that Nas was out of here, right?
Nostradamus,
Did he try to go shake ass and say drop, or did he throw a haymaker on the takeover? He tried to get Nas out of there.
Oh no, he tried to get rid of him.
Drake never threw the haymaker.
Yeah.
So,
and that I've heard you guys. Go ahead, Coop.
Just real quick, Jar, I did say on this show that Drake played and failed the situation the same way Jay failed on the takeover. You don't make 2 verses about Prodigy and 1 verse about Nas. What the fuck are you smoking?
But I'm
that's hindsight.
In real time,
Prodigy was that guy.
When you're the king, you have to have foresight. You don't get hindsight.
No.
You have to have foresight when you're the king.
That's
why you're king.
That's why I'm saying that Jay wouldn't play in his face. Jay didn't play in Nas's face. He thought that Nas was out of here, and he said, this guy's lame, and his albums don't hit. He checked every box as a rapper to diss another guy.
Absolutely.
Drake never did that. Drake was playing. He was trolling on Instagram. He was doing
Drake didn't check all the boxes?
AI verses with Snoop voice and Tupac voice and shit. Like, when did he really rap at Kenny?
Not until Family Matters, Coop.
And even then, in Family Matters, the nigga is singing to Kenny. And then when Kenny punched him again, now he want to rap on the Hard Part 6. It's too late by then. You got stepped on already.
So you're saying it's too little too late?
Where was the Duppy? He didn't have a Duppy freestyle at no point in this process.
Right.
A Duppy freestyle definitely would have helped in this.
I like Duppy better than Adidon personally, but Adidon was more damaging.
Okay.
Adidon's more. You're right. Duppy's a better record than Adidon.
Well, look, we have to really look at Drake's record now, because it's like after Pusha and Kendrick, like, all right, he beat Meek. Is that his claim to fame?
Hold on,
HBO boxing tomato can. I'm just saying,
maybe we
want to know what
he was giving Drake too much credit for.
You want to know
that battle with Meek? Man, but I mean, Duppy was a good diss record, but it wasn't damaging.
Where is Stay Scheming?
He doesn't have that. Stay Scheming, that's what he should have done. Stay Scheming was a lot harder.
Fellas, hold on. The real hindsight is the fact that, and I'll be the first one to admit this, did we overrate Drake because we have Meek overrated because of what he did to Meek at the time? Because Meek at the time, let's keep in mind, when that battle happened, everybody thought Meek was about to rip Drake to shreds.
I mean, he should have. He did.
But I think Drake gets, he should get credit. I mean, he gets in the ring, like Jarv said, and he holds his own.
But did
he might
win
have
a
took some
battle?
L's, but he holds his own.
But did he win a battle against a C-list rapper that we thought was an A-,
He got
B+
Common
rapper?
out of there, cool. Common. He in your top. He in Finn's top 5. He beat Common.
Look. Like I
He
said,
did beat Calm. He beat Calm.
Like I said, that was an aging Calm. That was
out of sync Common, not an aging Common.
That was twilight of his career Common, man. That wasn't the same
but
Common
and older Common just made the auditorium. What we doing?
Yeah, but to Coop's point,
battling and making positive music is two different things.
Well, when it comes to your favorites, boy.
But to Coop's point, I've heard y'all on y'all's podcast put this as the greatest rap battle of all time. That's why I can't personally do that. It's the biggest and the most grandiose, but I can't put it over Jay and Nas because that was literally close. And everybody who had Kenny winning had him winning decidedly anyway, and didn't want to think that Drake was a worthy competitor. So it's like, I think Drake held his own personally, but it wasn't, the two Titans going at it wasn't as evenly matched on the scorecards, you know what I'm saying, as a lot of people would try to make it out to be. And plus, Nas and Jay had Stillmatic and Stillmatic and Blueprint classic albums to boot, which, you got the GNX now, but it's not a classic, and Drake doesn't have anything to go along with this battle.
I think for me, we put it up there because of what happened on that particular night, that Family Matters and Meet the Grams.
That was a great time.
Jarv, hold on. That's my thing. Then call it the biggest night. Don't call it the biggest battle, because Jay and Nas's battle is GOAT talk. That is about the battle.
I don't think that this right here,
this is not a number one.
This is for the best of this era, not the GOAT.
Like that was to me, because rap changed that night. The history we know it changed that. That's why we put it up there. Because
hold on. Jarv, we're not going to know how much it's changed until time goes on. You're saying that
social media adds to that, though.
Kenny's not the clear number one now. Is Drake?
But Jarv, it's number one for an era, not number one all time. That's what Jay-Z and Nas was calling for.
Jarv, let me submit something to you, if I may. What if I were to tell you that it's like, because of all the undertones and because of how Kendrick started off this album with the Wayne shade, not a shot, but shade.
That's not shade, bro.
It was. I told the fellas behind the scene, I said, it wasn't like disrespectful as an open hand slap to the face, but he definitely like snuffed the nigga a little bit.
Nah,
what if I told
you, if Wayne decided to respond, he'd be in his right to.
But what if I told you that we might get a part 2 or even part 3 to this Kendrick and Drake thing? What if this is not over? What if we're getting our first, Ali Frazier, where it's like, no, these niggas is gonna fight a few times? Has anybody thought about that?
I don't think like I said yesterday. Until
if I was Drake, you're not doing me like this. I'm coming to get you.
Until Drake decides to respond to Kenny properly, he can't do shit. He's in checkmate. He has to fight him again. There's no escaping this.
Thank you. Hold on. So Jarv, isn't the table really being set? And Kendrick knows this, which is why he kind of poked at Wayne. Isn't the table really being set by Kendrick?
I don't think that line was no worse than Nas checking Pete Rock.
AG, can I finish?
Drake got to show me he could do it at this point, because I came in like you, Coop. I thought Drake had him, and then I seen what Kenny did. Kenny beat him on every level.
No, he beat him. But if somebody beats your ass and they keep poking at you, 16, are you not going to beat the Grams?
But how's that make Wayne look if Drake got to come to his defense, because Drake did that with Pusha T? So how would that make Wayne look?
Hey, them dudes is food, man. At this point, I hate to be that guy, but they're gonna have to show me.
You think Wayne food? You think Wayne food?
Wayne is not battle tested, bro. Like
neither was Kendrick until this year.
Wayne is a buffet, bro.
Hold on.
He'll lose his last remaining dreads off his head.
No. Everything y'all are saying about Wayne, I could say about Kendrick until this year. Everything y'all saying about Wayne, I can say about Kendrick until this year.
Don't do that, cool.
Don't do that, cool.
Cool. Hold on. Where was Kendrick battle tested prior to this year, fellas? Prior to this year, when was Kendrick battle tested?
He's not.
But he wanted smoke for how he projected himself.
Right. That's why I was like, I can't really answer that in good faith, because he's asked people to come in the ring and they ain't want to get in the ring. He was Terrence Crawford. Nobody wanted to get in the ring with Crawford. Absolutely. And as soon as Spence got in the ring, what happened? He got punched on. And everybody loved Arrow until he got punched on, right?
Right. And then Pusha T was begging Lil Wayne to get in the ring. And he said a few bars and it was nothing to him.
Pleading with him to get in the ring.
And then Drake had to come into the fray, and Drake took those lumps, but at least he got in the ring.
Hove out of here. He tried to call Hove number. What happened to him?
Yes.
Hold on. First of all, there's no pulling Hove's number unless you're Nas. That's how
tried it.
Goes.
Wayne tried.
He did.
Tried, and he found out where
When
he
he was
existed
at
on
his
the food
zenith.
chain. That's what
And when
he found out where he existed on the food
With a
chain.
Jay-Z verse tatted on him.
Yeah. Come on, cool.
Crazy.
Wayne is
Fellas,
food.
I got to slide. My time is up here.
Man, hold on.
If y'all
I
don't
just
see me
think it's
tomorrow, y'all know
crazy.
what happened.
I think it's crazy that Kendrick gets to not be battle tested for 15 years, and y'all call Wayne food when he.
One guy says, "Get in the ring with me, please." Everybody says no. The other guy is giving you rudimentary punchlines from the early '90s. Y'all said he was the best. I just don't understand.
It's not even the same. It's not even the same.
Yo, that control verse ain't like that. It's not even the best verse on the song, Jarve.
Oh,
but again, is Wayne giving you a like that verse?
No.
Ain't no big three. It's just Big Me.
No, he does not have. You want to know what he lacks? He has bravado. He does not have the battle rap bravado.
Isn't that part of being a rapper? The bravado.
Everybody. Welcome to the new hill that Cooper's going to die on.
No. I specified. I said he does not have Kendrick's battle rap bravado. He doesn't. He does not talk like in those battle rap terms that Kendrick.
Everyone is like real G's moving silence while Kenny's out here saying, "I dare one of y'all."
Hey, I respect that Coop found him a new hill. Like, I respect
it. Said, "Oh shit, this is real." Never mind, guys. 52,000 of his fans. It's not right in my spirit because he knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Drake ain't make nobody run away from a fade
or Wayne.
A fair fade at that because it was just bars at that point.
Facts.
And he had a bar for Cole on this one.
Okay,
he said, "F your apologies. I want to see you geeked out."
No. My problem. I'm gonna tell you the truth. My problem with Cole ain't even the Carolina shit. It's like you's actually up in the fade. How you gonna step away when you like up in the fade? Like if you put money down,
if if
it's January and you notice if it's January and you notice dance is happening and you've been listening to rap in the 2020s, you're not putting your money on Drake or fucking Kendrick over Cole if you have been listening. That's my problem with how he played it. It's like you was just about nigga, like you won battle and one album away from pole position from this era when you've been third the whole time.
And he gave that up. I don't care how good the fall off is.
How can you let that go?
He'll be third with a classic.
How can you let that go? How can you let that go for a man that has not made a great album in 8
years? No heart.
Cool. He relinquished it. He doesn't want it.
I understand it's North Carolina, Coop. I get it.
But then after years of saying you the best, your chance to prove it, you run away.
Don't come back, man. Don't come back to the
unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. But fellas, I gotta slide up out of here. It was a good run.
Me too.
The door's open for y'all to come across the street to us whenever it makes sense. Whenever y'all ready, just holler. Sean, Coop, holler at me. We make it make sense.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Easy.
Peace, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yo, let's get these super chats, fellas, and let's get up out of here. Let people get back to their Sunday.
AG or Sean, y'all gonna have to take the super chats because my system shut down and I had to reboot, so I lost my super chats.
No doubt, I got it.
Let me see where can I get to. We got Mad Max.
Of course we do.
Brad got Brandon Rogers. Sean got the Fly Sneaker Collection, giving Clark Kent vibes. Rest in peace, Clark Kent, for sure. Appreciate you, bro. Andrew Williams with the 199. My guys, love the unity. Yeah, man. It's all about love, man. It's all about love. We going into 2025 with love. Tracy G, the album is a 2 out of a 10, only because it's 45 minutes. Yo, Tracy G is not going to budge off of that. Andrew Williams, I agree with all your points. To be honest, about Kendrick, I do feel by a lot of Kendrick fans, if you don't call everything he does a classic, you're a hater. It's fair. It's fair. Coop always say he doesn't like the Kendrick fans. 007 with the $20 chat. Appreciate the 00.
Appreciate it.
Kenny isn't Nas J level. He's a tier below. This album is solid and he's not done creating. But the reality is Drake was never that guy and Cole folded. We grade these guys on a curve compared to mid to late 90s competition.
Can I stop right quick and say what is really important about Kendrick? and this is where he has even separated himself from Drake and Cole. When Drake and Cole drop albums, we don't have top 10 all-time rapper conversation. Every time Kendrick drops, we do. And so the biggest difference, like my biggest takeaway from everything that everybody's had to say tonight is actually, I noticed from all of our dialogue, well, he's number one in this era because the type of conversation that we have when he drops an album is vastly different than when Drake drops and when Cole drops. And that's the difference. When Kendrick drops, we do have GOAT talk. When Drake and Cole talk, we talk era talk. Does that make sense? Like, it's GOAT talk when we talk Kendrick. It's era talk when Cole and Drake drop. And that's where this battle has solidified him, because it was that way before he won the battle. And that's why I'm so super disappointed that Cole bowed out, because it's like he had so many legs up on you already.
He did. And that's why this battle's so important, because if you get number one for your era, that's like a buy-in to conversation for the top 10 of all time.
Correct. That is the buy-in, because you have to understand too. I mean, if you go through your top 20 MCs, most of them came out in a 15-year gap. Most of your top 20 MCs fall somewhere between 85 to 2000. Tell me.
And let's be real. A lot of our top 10s are not number one for their respective eras, but that was because competition was more heavy back then, but you can only play who's in front of you.
Scarface and Ghostface are the only people in my top 10 that weren't like considered to be number one at some point while they lived, though.
Yeah, but the overall catalog start to grow.
Yeah, everybody else was number one, and I do think there's some Wu-Tang bias and some Southern bias that comes with Ghost and Scarface not having that, because to me, Ghost is the best MC when Supreme Clientele comes out, and Scarface never got his moment, mostly about Big J and Nas, because when he made his best stuff, they were all, and Pop, those four guys.
I'll give you that. I was gonna say, I'll give you that on Face, but as much as I love Face, 1 year doesn't constitute an era.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, even if Ghost is the best MC in 2000, that doesn't mean he's the best MC for that era. Like, that's just wraps up that year.
No, okay. So I think, how about this? I have Scarface ahead of Ghostface because they exist in the same era, and Scarface is more influential and more impactful in his region. The albums and the bars are comparable. What Scarface means to the South and what Ghostface means to the East is totally different, because Scarface down here is Nas, is Tupac, is Big, is
But look at the field you're comparing it to. You're comparing two different fields. You're comparing, Ghost to 80% of the populace that we consider to be up at the top of tier. You're talking about Big, Nas, Ray. You're talking about a different field.
No, that's where Ghost exists. Don't you think that's where Ghost exists?
He does.
He's part of that field.
Yeah, he's part of that field. I give Scarface the advantage because they exist in the same field. Oh no, Scarface is that nigga down here entirely. And look, and the only conversations about it being different are related to Wayne and Andre.
Yeah,
like when you talk Ghost and you talk New York, it's like, no, there's Nas, Big, J, KRS, Rakim, G-Rap, Kane.
It's a different
Ray,
field.
Meth, Kid.
You got to keep going.
Yeah,
it's a different field.
Yeah. Ghost is a victim of his climate, his New York climate. Yeah. Scarface is that is where Scarface is most beneficial, is because, well, he is our first all-time great Southern rapper.
Absolutely,
big fact.
That's respected not just in the Southern region but everywhere.
Yes.
No. Like I'm saying, as far as a guy to come out of the South, he's the first all-time great rapper to come out of the South, and that does mean something. And he has the material, bars, guest appearance, like he has everything, and platinum and gold plaque. Like he has everything.
Checks every box.
Validated. He checks every box. I can't put Ghost over him with all those box checks.
No doubt. All right, more super chats. Tracy G, this album is whack as hell. It's better.
Tracy.
Might delete later is better. Fall off
Tracy,
would be.
You gotta let it go. Tracy, you gotta let it go.
She's not gonna let it go. I appreciate that. Jermaine Johnson with the $5 chat. Hip Hop Talks collabs with rap roundtables at the Avengers of Hip Hop Media. Fellas, Pete, please do this more often. No doubt. Again, the mantra of 2025 is love. Everything is love. CJ the Kid, $10 super chat. Can you guys do a Kendrick hip hop talks versus Q roundtable station head like Mad Max said? Since Wu versus who's NT isn't happening.
Native tongues.
He's so mad about native tongues. You want to know what? Hold on, fellas. You want to know what we should do? We need to come up with some playlist battles to run on Station Head for Thanksgiving. We're not going to be like, I know we've had a couple of conversations, but what do you think about knocking out some of these battles? Because I know
we've been doing some battles in the Discord, Coop. If you was in the Discord,
yeah. First of all, I won't be jumping in the Discord. I jumped in the Discord and jumped back out. Okay. You all right. I just jumped on Twitter today. Niggas should be happy I came outside to play this year. But you know what type of year it's been? You know what type of year it's been? First of all, I'd like to tell everybody never buy an Audi. If like me, you'll be without a car for 6 weeks because they have to replace your engine, but they don't want to replace the engine. Then you rent a car. And after you call to check on AG coming from North Carolina, a deer fucking jumps in front of your rental car and totals your shit. Now you owe the rental car company thousands of dollars. Except for you already paid them thousands of dollars so you could rent a car. Then you get your daughter's car. I'm not finished. Then you get your daughter's car. You get your daughter's car shipped from your sister. New transmission. Engine has a problem. Just got done paying for new engine work today.
Yeah. Engines cost a lot. At that point, I'm just getting new whips.
Yeah. Then I gotta come. These are the new whips.
This is new whips. You're bad. I love Audi. This is what they give.
Then I gotta come and deal with you two. I'm glad you said that, Sean. Then I have to come and deal with you two. Then I have to come and deal with you two. No. And then on top of having to deal with you two,
what?
Just you.
I don't know what we did.
I don't know what we did.
You called Jarvin Sin on top of all of that.
Yeah.
Got a lot of nerve.
This was an intervention.
We're ending 2020 with love. We're going into Thanksgiving with love. We're going to finish off with love. Hey, now, we're not everybody else. I don't want. Let me say this real quick. Let me be honest.
Dinner's at my house. You're not invited. There'll be no mac and cheese and yams for you.
We're not going to send a beacon to others and say, "Yo, come on and let's have a conversation." Everyone doesn't get that invite. So let me be. I don't want to talk crazy or talk fresh and anything crazy like that. Get it? Pun intended. But not, I don't want to get too fresh out here for y'all. Pun intended. Everybody doesn't get that invite. I'm sorry. But yeah, we want to start with love if you want into 2025. AG doesn't like what I just said. I get it. I apologize. I'm gonna have he's gonna have a conversation with me after this, and I apologize.
I'm gonna watch football. That's what I'm gonna do.
This is your friend.
But fellas, hold up. I think a couple more.
Oh yeah, we got
last one. That was the last one.
We appreciate all the super chats, by the way, everybody.
We appreciate the super chats.
Except for Mad Max, because Mad Max, you don't know what you're talking about.
If you in the chat, right? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, join the movement. We'll put the actual the Discord link in the chat tonight as well. Join our Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We appreciate the love, the conversations that we have on here. We still have conversations on the Discord as well. The Discord be going.
You do have conversations on the Discord.
It's crazy. Like if you love music, if you love hip hop in general, if you love sports, games, whatever, the Discord is where it's at. So if you enjoyed tonight, please lock into our Discord. We drop different things in there. We drop some exclusive things in there as well. Great chat in the Discord. We even play music now. We figure out a way to start playing music in the Discord. So we actually have battles going back and forth in the Discord. I hope you guys enjoyed Coop's growth tonight. Pause. This was a very
That is wild. Cut it off.
Pause. We think that this is the first process of healing, and we're looking forward.
I'm healed. I'm not traumatized.
You are, and
I'm so sick of you and AG talking about me like I am hurt. I am not.
I'm sitting here quiet. Like, what did I do?
Nigga, you've been talking more than Sean has this whole time about me. They're like, who's got this all fucked up? It's like I don't have it fucked up.
I was just making an observation.
Yeah, Coop, yeah, did make an observation. Coop is back on the streets now, so y'all be women, hide your kids, hide your children.
Hashtag crazy. It's time to get out of here. Definitely.
All right, yeah. Like, subscribe, share. Shout out to LP. Shout out to my man Trife Boogie. Shout out to L Books. Shout out to
I'm gonna jump in the Discord on Thanksgiving. It's gonna be special guest appearance. It'll be like 16 bars.
Yo, shout out to my secret weapon, Jack. The equalizer, the Jacqueline. The equalizer.
Jack's your equalizer, and your special secret weapon, Jack, is cracking the fuck up. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Jack is that guy, man. Shout out to Jack.
Jack is that
wild.
Guy. Jack is that
Jack's
guy.
Jack's our secret weapon? That's who we're using?
Yes.
Yes.
Jack needs help.
In short, yes.
In short, yes. Yeah. I would drop the Discord link in the
definitely
chat.
Jumping back in the Discord if Jack's our help.
Jack is my guy.
That's the Winter Soldier.
Facts.
Jack?
Unhinged.
Crazy Jack?
Yes.
You just gotta say the words.
Say the words.
In the book.
And he's activated. Shout out to
just read them off Sonics.
Real talk. When we close up, shout out to LB as well. Miss LB runs the Facebook page. Did a phenomenal job today running the Facebook page. She was actually ramping up the Facebook. They had a whole chat going on in the Facebook about us getting ready to do this show. She didn't have to do that. And there was a whole chat going on over there. And if you guys noticed, the numbers were high tonight. Kendrick moved the needle. And we wanted to give y'all the best show we possibly could. We wanted to have a lot of great conversation. And we also wanted to make sure we throw some surprises in there. Again, our mantra going to 2025 is all love. And we want y'all to join the movement, join the love movement, join our Discord to connect with us there. Join us on Twitter, of course. Make sure you like and subscribe and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back on Wednesday night. We'll be back on the night before Thanksgiving. So hope y'all can tune in with us then. We got some more stuff coming up. We got some prizes and everything coming up for the holidays. And we got y'all. Coop is back home. Coop is back outside now. All right. No boundaries no more. So everybody be careful out there. And we out. Peace.